रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये माता पिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्. With the abundant blessings of Paramatma Shriyapati, we have gathered on the eve of just not another Ekadashi. It is regarded as the Ekadashi. It is called the Kaishika Ekadashi. Some call it Mokshada Ekadashi. Some people call it Guruvayur Ekadashi. It is deeply associated with an anecdote that is associated with a kshetram called as Tirukkurungudi, which is far south, deep south near Tirunelveli. And this anecdote finds its mention in the Varaha Purana. So it's Kaishika Puranam, which is a sub-part of the larger Varaha Puranam. And this Kaishika Puranam is also orchestrated and depicted year after year in this very kshetram. So that is the Ekadashi tomorrow, and we are on the eve of that Ekadashi. So I am a part of this beautiful festival of Pujya Sri.Dushyanth Swami's foundation, who was a big contributor to Shastriya Sangeetam. Today, even before I get into the topic, I said tomorrow's Ekadashi, people call it as Harivasaram because it is believed that we eat less or we don't eat at all, and all our focus is on the divine qualities and the auspicious attributes of the Paramatma. What better than featuring him in paintings? I'm sure a lot of you will be following this great artist called Keshav in the social media. He was a cartoonist for the Hindu for over 30-40 years, and he has had a penchant towards making Krishna every day. So he calls it Krishna for today. And I have had the Saubhagyam to collaborate with such a great person whose fingers and brush only speaks poetry and such beautiful imagery that he paints in front of us in such a lavish canvas is what I can dream of. Such paintings which hold such intrinsic value in Sanatana Dharma have been brought together. Some of them, chosen ones of his repertoire, have been brought together, and they have been elucidated in the form of a beautiful book. A great dancer, a great friend, a great dharmic person called Smita from our very kshetra of Bengaluru has made this beautiful book. So I'll be very happy to have her on the stage, and I would like to call Sri Kishan to please collect one copy, and if she deems me fit, she can give me the other copy. Please give the first copy to. இது கவுண்டமணி ஜோக் மாதிரி இருக்கு. வாங்க. Thank you. I will. Please come. Thank you. Thank you so much. She's a dharmic person. She knows art, she knows dance, and she also catches snakes. So she's very bold. She catches snakes. She's also a herpetologist. So that way, if you have snakes in your place, please think it's Adisesha and call her. Thank you, Smita. The topic chosen for the day is momentous of this year, 2025. This year has been a year of many events. I don't have to get into the aspect whether it was a melancholy or a mirth, but we have had a variety of things this year, right from a list of people who always want us to step into the US, so they're all welcoming now, to cliched lines like, thank you for your attention to this matter. So we have seen all of it. But something that evokes our emotion is this year commemorates the 250th year of a musical genius called Muthuswami Dikshita. So, as a part of this beautiful festival that they have curated on yet a great musician called Narasimhacharya, I humbly thought, with all humility and modesty, that if at all I should be presenting a work, it should be as a tribute to the 250 years of Muthuswami Dikshita. So this lecture, this discourse is titled Gurughuhananda, because Guru Guha has been his mudra. So what brings Ananda to him and how much Ananda we derive out of Guru Guha is Gurughuhananda. That said, this dais that you see in front of you has hosted a plethora of magical geniuses in music. So, if at all the word misfit has to be illustrated, I am the illustration. So, I speak more and sing less. People thank me for that. But the topic that I've chosen for the day is as such where I have to demonstrate in certain occasions wherever it is required with some relevant lines from his huge plethora of compositions. To even understand how much he has written itself is an art. So we will go through the lives and works as and when required. We will feature. We have to begin with a kriti that one more thing that I have to caution you, like the disclaimer. Tamil la porupu thurappu nulva. Porupu thurappu means disclaimer. Obba program nodakke munche disclaimer anta barate ಆಂಗ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೆಲವು ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೈಮರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ರನ್ನೂ ಸೇರಿಸಬೇಕು. The thing is, with the grace of my Acharya, 6 in number, I have been trained largely in the Vaishnava scriptures, Sri Bhashyam, Gita Bhashyam, Rahasya Trayasaram, Ramayana, Mahabharatam. These are all the things that they were experts at and they taught me, and whatever little I could grasp, I have grasped. So my knowledge in the other aspects of Sanatana Dharma, because Sanatana Dharma is a huge banyan tree, the big banyan tree. One branch is Vaishnavam. There is another very thriving, very rich branch called Shaivam. There is one branch called Shaktam. There is one branch called Shauram. Now, I have very little repertoire, experience, knowledge in the other fields. But when I've taken up Gurughuananda, I have to do justice to what he has done, because he has sung on all Devatas. So I have to do justice. So wherever required, I will pitch in from the other theologies as well. But then we have to begin somewhere. What better than something that his father found? Muthuswami Dikshita's father was a musical genius. So, but he was not a nepo kid. He had his own repertoire, he had his own knowledge, but his father was a musical genius. And his father came up with a raga called Hamsadhvani. Hamsadhvani is Muthuswami Dikshita's father's finding. And the skriti that is super famous in Hamsadhvani was made famous by his son, which is Vatapi Ganapatim. Bhuta. See, I can begin with Vatapi. But Alex Babu says that Carnatic people sing the same line 10 times. He has a point. वातापि गणपतिं भजेऽहं वातापि गणपतिं भजेऽहं वारणस्यं वरप्रदं श्रीवातापि गणपतिं भजेऽहम् भूतादिसंसेवितचरणं भूतभौतिक प्रपञ्चभरणं वीतरागिणं विनुतयोगिनं विश्वकारणं विघ्नवारणं वातापि गणपतिम् पुरा कुम्भसम्भवमुनिवर प्रपूजितं त्रिकोणमध्यगतं मुरारिप्रमुखाद्युपसितं मूलाधारक्षेत्र स्थितं परादिचत्वारिव गात्मक प्रणव स्वरूप. I have to stop here because it cannot go like a concert. Generally people say Pura Kumbha Sambhava Muni Vara Prapujitam Trikona Madhyagatam Murari Pramukhadhyupasitam Mooladhara Kshetrasthitam Paradi Chatvari Vagatmakam Pranavaswarupa. It is wrong as per the Samskrita Bhasha, because Pranava has to be sung from 4 places: Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari. All the 4 names come in Lalita Sahasranamam, if you remember. Para, Pashyakshiti, Rupa, Pashyanti, Paradevata, Madhyama, Vaikhari, Rupa. So these are all 4 stages of speech. So Pranava has to be sung that way. So it cannot be Pranavatmakam. It has to be Pranavatmaka. Pranava Swarupa Vakratundam Nirantaram Nitila Chandra Khandam Nijavamakara Vidrute Kshudandam Karambuja Pasha Bija Puram Kalusha Viduram Bhutakaram Haradi Guruguhato Shita Bimbam Hamsadhvani Bhushita Herambam Tapi Ganapati. In this duration, in a typical concert, you would have completed only Vatapi Ganapati. 11 Sangatis, but I have no time for that luxury. Now, why did I sing this Kriti? Because it is in the Ragam Hamsadhvani, because his father was a genius, he found that Ragam. This Kriti is on Vatapi Ganapati. Where is that Vatapi? Not in Karnataka. He changed his address. If you do SIR exercise for Vatapi Ganapati, currently his voting right is in Tamil Nadu. He is in a kshetram called Thiruvarur. So you will come across a lot of places now. See, unlike Tyagaraja or Shyama Shastri, Muthuswami Dikshitar is the Tirumangayalvar of the Trinity. He will go place after place and sing. So we will have to take a course. Though there is cyclone in our, we will travel safely, don't worry. Now, he says, Mooladhara Kshetrasthitam. Mooladhara Kshetram is Thiruvarur. So Thiruvarur is called Mooladhara Kshetram. This Kshetram is a large temple. As you go south, no temple will be small. To construct one Ram temple in Ayodhya, we had a struggle. I don't know how these Cholas and Pandyas constructed temples. Every half a kilometer, you will have a temple minimum of 3 acres, full of granite, with only plain lands all around. Where did they get those stones from is another question. So Thiruvarur is a huge temple. And the temple tank, the Pushkarini that stands, the Kalyani Pushkarini that stands in front of the temple is as big as the temple. So, Kovil Yavvalavo Yeri Avvalavu. It is a temple believed by the Shiva devotees, the Shaivites, that this Shiva came before Chidambaram. Avanilum Munvanda Aruran, says the poet. So it is called Mooladhara Kshetram. In this Mooladhara Kshetram is this Ganapati Sannidhi, small Sannidhi. If you go there, you will have to keep checking. Vatapi Ganapati, we'll think he'll be like our Bull Temple Road Ganesha. He'll be small. For this small Ganesha, he has been made famous by Muthuswami Dikshitar from Cleveland Aradhana to Gayana Samaja. That is Vatapi Ganapati. Now, in this he talks about a variety of things. See, Muthuswami Dikshitar, besides being the Trimangayalvar of the Trinity, he is the encyclopedia. Grok 4, Gemini, AI, Perplexity, all put together is Muthuswami Dikshitar. He'll give you full information. How did this person, Ganapati, come? Because this Ganapati came through a rishi who was adept in two languages. One is Sanskritam, the other is Tamil. He was called Agasthyar. Agastya Rishi is called Tamil Muni because he was the one who propagated Tamil in Kavatapuri, which is a flooded region, the erstwhile capital of the Pandyas. So he says that Muni who came to this Kshetram once came from a pot. Pura Kumbha Sambhava Munivara Prapujitam Trikona Madhyagatam, because he is a Sri Vidya Upasaka. In Sri Vidya, you have to give a lot of importance to shapes. Bindu, Trukona, Vasukona is the Dhyana Shloka of Lalita Sahasranamam. After that, you begin with the Dhyanam, Sindhura Aruna Vigraham, Trinayanam, Manikkamaulis Purattara, Nayaka Shekharam, Smitamukim, Apina Vakshoruham, Panibhyam, Manipurna Ratna Chashakam, Raktotphalam Bhibratim, Saumyam, Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam, Dhyayet Paramambikam. You begin right. Before that, you say Bindu, Trukona. You have to give a triangle shape. So he says Trikona Madhyagatam. So the amount of information that you have to mine, data mining from his kritis is immense. So this Muthuswami Dikshita belongs to a city called Thiruvarur. Thiruvarur is called Mooladhara Kshetram. It is called by various other names. Now, the presiding Devata of Thiruvarur Kshetram, where he was born, the large temple, the large tank, is called Tyagesha. Tyagesha, Tyagaraja is the name of Shiva there. Muthuswami Dikshita has written one set of kritis called Tyagaraja kritis. Each kriti will describe what are all the festivals in that city. This is how they tabulated history. In that, in one of the places, he talks about the Vadyams, the different instruments that are played. Now I had to do some data mining and find out what instruments they play. I will list down the instruments, what they play in the temple. I don't even know some of these instruments, what they are. But they have said these are the instruments. Shuddha Madhalam, Varinayanam, Karna, Panchamukavadyam, Shang, Yakkalam, Berigai, Nagara, Brahmatalam, Nattumuttutalam, Vanga, Gidigitti, Tiruchandam, Pullangudal, Tappattai, Tarai, Mugavinai. With all these instruments, Tyagaraja will come outside. That Muthuswami Dikshita records because it is his hometown. Because everybody will feel very sentimental about their hometown, he talks. Now, he does one thing. For all of us, the big problem is habit, right? People, when they write books also, they say 7 habits of highly effective people. Even to be effective, you need habits. But we have heard of this at school, in school days. When a habit is there, it won't go that easily. Like how the word is. If you take H from habit, a bit remains. If you take A from a bit remains. If you take B from bit, it remains. Correct? It, bit, a bit, habit. Correct? Tyaga Raja Yoga Vaibhavam Agaraja Yoga Vaibhavam Raja Yoga Vaibhavam Yoga Vaibhavam Vaibhavam Bhavam Vam Vam Bhavam Vaibhavam Yoga Vaibhavam Raja Yoga Vaibhavam Agaraja Yoga Vaibhavam Raja Yoga Vaibhavam It bit a bit habit. So this is amazing. See, you have to stick to the talam. You have to introduce the ragam. See, we will see his genius later. when he introduces the ragam, it will not be, I am singing in this ragam. The ragam will be stitched with the sahityam. That is the greatness of, in a kshetram called Mannargudi, Krishna kshetram. There is an utsavam that is celebrated in the month of Magha. Magha is a month. Chaitra, Ashada anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವೇ. ಚೈತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಫಾಲ್ಗುಣ, ಫಾಲ್ಗುಣಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ Magha. We'll get Magha. So there is an utsavam that is celebrated in this Krishna temple, Rajagopala Swami temple in Mannargudi in Tamil Nadu. It is a huge utsavam. He says, Ma Gama Sotsava Vaibhava Gamas Kamas. Did you get kamas here? Magha Masa Kamas. He has got kamas there. Chitsabheshwaram Saranga Dharam Sadashrayami Shankara Bharanam Sadgatidayakam Bhoja Charanam Vadanya Deva Kriya Kelanam Vaidyalinga Bhupala Palanam Bhupala. He is the patron. See, I'll tell you later. Musicians need funding. We all think we can pay 25,000 for a Coldplay concert. We are ready to pay. Isn't it amazing to have a lasagna and something absolutely delicious to go to a Coldplay and probably just go to a concert and listen to a Taylor? You can be a Swiftie. You can listen, but if you are asked to pay 200 for a Carnatic concert, ಏನ್ರಿ ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಫೀಸ್ ತುಂಬ 200 rupees ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. That is our correct, sir. Kishan sir, record this. So many things go viral. Why can't this go viral? Yeah. See, again, if it is a free program, everybody can come. But what is the harm? Tell me, when we take a cab from our house to airport, it costs more than the flight ticket. That we are ready to pay. But we are not able to pay 200, 100 for a concert. We believe musicians have to jump from the heaven. They will sing Kanakadhara Stotram throughout their life. Mahalakshmi will come and give money. That is our intent. Muthuswami Dikshita was dependent on a zamindar in the latter half of his life. He was called Vaidyalinga Bhupala. He was a zamindar. He was living in a village southwest of Thiruvarur. So that man used to give him money. See, Kamban, when he wrote, Vennainallur Sadayappa Vallalar used to be the patron. See, our acharyas needed patronage. Just because we have not heard, we have not listened, we have not had the efforts, we have not taken the efforts to dive deep into their lives, it doesn't mean that they were taken care by themselves. They needed help. Muthuswami Dikshita was patronized by this Vaidyalinga, but Muthuswami Dikshita felt, how can I sing directly on him? So he intelligently interspersed the Shiva's name of that kshetram called Vaidyalinga. So while singing Shiva as Vaidyalinga, he says that Vaidyalinga has blessed one zamindar, Bhupala, who is giving me that money. And what did he do with that? He had the ragam Bhupala. Vaidyalinga Bhupala Palanam. That is his genius. Muthuswami Dikshita's brain should have been researched. Such a genius he was. Now, this kshetram is Thiruvarur, and this is believed to be once the erstwhile capital of the Cholas. How do we know that? In the early Sangam literature, we hear of a king called Manunidi Cholan. It is said that while he was driving a chariot, the chariot tumbled and went on a calf. He didn't realize that. The calf was dead. The mother cow came and rang the bell. In those days, you didn't have long vacations for judges. So immediately justice you will get. So what did the Raja do? He could have compensated, right? Generally, if somebody is dead, the government will say, we declare 2 lakhs compensation. The calf is dead. He could have said, I will give you Goshala. I will give you an apartment in Whitefield. How you come out and go is in your problem. We'll give you. He could have said, you know what the king did? He put his son below the chariot and rode over him and he died. So that king was called Manunidi Cholan. If you go to Thiruvarur, it is not the right time to go now. It's the monsoon is high. 20 days later you travel. You go to the temple, you'll see the depiction in a stone chariot there. So this was once the erstwhile capital of the Cholas. Now I have to talk about Muthuswami Dikshita's father. I told you, right? 8 p.m. today. I told you that his father came up with the ragam called Hamsadhvani. This Ramaswami Dikshita with his wife called Shubha Lakshmi. Shubha Lakshmi in colloquial usage becomes Subbu Lakshmi. It is Shubha Lakshmi. Shubha Lakshmi and Ramaswami Dikshita, while in Thiruvarur, they had 3 sons and 1 daughter. The eldest of them was Muthuswami Dikshita. Now, who is this Ramaswami Dikshita? See, in Upanyasam, you have to go story within story. Else, if I don't do that, then it will become a lekdem. If it is an Upanyasam, I have to go story into story and finally you will forget where I started. That is Upanyasam. Now, this Ramaswami Dikshita, he was orphaned at a very young age. See, when we go in the last 500 years to each of our family histories, longevity was not that easy. It was not that easy. People will ask, oh, today, sir, so many have diabetes. Did they have then? Yes, but they would have gone undiagnosed. As simple as that. Today we have insulin, and with the insulin you can have ice cream. One side insulin, this side gelato. You can have. Otherwise, how much we pay as premium to insurance? What will the insurance company do? Some people say, sir, 5 lakhs coverage is sir. Ee varsha yena waste sir adu. He's feeling so bad because he feels every 6 months he has to go to some hospital. Now, this Ramaswami Dikshita was orphaned at a very young age. He was orphaned in a kshetram, which is still a hamlet in the outskirts of Kumbhakonam called Govindapuram. In Govindapuram, at a very young age, he learnt a variety of languages. In Tamil Nadu, sir, Tamil Nadalli languages kaliboda, kalibodu. Buddhi idre kalibodu. So, Samskrita, Matome, Telugu Bhasha, Tamil, he learnt. Variety of languages. See, most of our scholars in the past were polyglots. You see any Acharya, you see Sringeri Sannidhanam, he'll talk in 3-4 languages. It was a norm. Today, all has been subsumed into English. I just can't speak Kannada. Kannada ashtu baralla. Tamil varadu. Enga varum idukku. Rave varliye. So he learned from Melettur Veerabhadraya. See, when you listen to an Upanyasam, see what lessons you can derive. Learn languages. Melettur Veerabhadraya taught this young boy who's an orphan called Ramaswami Dikshita a plethora of languages. Then he goes to another kshetram, again very close to Kumbhakonam, called Thiruvidai Marudur. Sir, yella channagide sir. Hesru hengi gnapaka itkolodu. Adhe problem. So, Thiruvidai Marudur. Shouldn't it be like Pina? Yes. Thiruvidai Marudur. It's again a big temple, big Shiva, Mahalingeshwara. This kshetram is very special because in this Shiva kshetram, you have to get inside one Gopuram and get the exit through the other Gopuram. Because it is believed the Raja had a dosham of Brahmahatya. And the Purohita said, Brahmahatya, you possess Brahmahatya, but that Brahmahatya will never enter a temple. So you enter through one tower, exit through the other, the Brahmahatya will keep waiting for you. So that day, if you go to that kshetram, outside the temple Gopuram, you will see Brahmahatti like this. It is waiting for that king. Now this Ramaswamy Dikshita settled in Thiruvidaimarudur and learnt music from a great person called Venkata Vaidyanatha Dikshita, who was the grandson of Venkata Makhin. I hope you have heard of Venkata Makhin. In Melakarta Ragam scale, the one that we generally follow, Tyagaraja, Papanasam, Shivan, anybody, they will follow one system. Muthuswamy Dikshita alone followed a system called Venkata Makhin's Melakarta Ragam. In that, there will be slight differences with the way we perceive ragams. For example, we call it Ramapriya, they call it Rama Manohari. Rama Manohari Rakendu Shekhari Sukhadakari Mana Kinkini Mekhala Bhaswari Sundari Vama Marga Priyakari Shankari Sarveshwari Matangi Shri Raja Rajeshwari. This is Rama Manohari of Dikshita. Sandehamunu tirpumaya Saketa Nilaya Ramaya. This is Ramapriya. Both are of the same scale. So he learned, the father learned music from them. He learned the next thing called Veena, how to play the Veena. So he learned languages, he learned music, he learned a Vadyam, which is Veena. Now this Ramaswamy Dikshita, after learning all this, he was orphaned. Look at his past, orphaned. How he acquired languages like a sponge. He had the ability to acquire, retain and process it. Then after marrying Shubha Lakshmi, they wanted a good child. Everybody wants a child. That good is the problem. Adjective. How do we prefix it? Maga idana idane. Olle magana adu gottilla sir. So both of them wanted a good son. Now don't fight why they didn't have a daughter. They had a daughter also. Then somebody will say, that's wrong. He should have asked for a daughter. He asked for a daughter. Daughter came later. Okay, her name was Balambal. For now, let's concentrate. Let's not bring our woke ideas here. No. This the husband and wife, Ramaswamy Dikshita and Shubha Lakshmi, visit their kshetram, which is their Kuladhanam or Kuladaivam. Mane Devuru anta heltivi alve. Aa reethiyalli Kuladaivam nu jolluvom Tamil. He goes to a kshetram very close to Shirgali called Vairishwaran Kovil. Today, Vairishwaran Kovil, more than Shiva temple, it is famous for one type of horoscope called as Nadi Josiyam. Have you heard of that? They will find your name and they will tell you when you are living, when you will die. Sandoshama atu koravendiyada. Settu peduven sir. Very vishayam. So, that kshetram has Shiva called Vaidyanatha. He is Mr. Doctor. Grey's Anatomy, good doctor and all we see, right? He is the best doctor, Vaidyanatha. The kshetra's Devi is called Balambika. She in Tamil is referred to as Tayyal Nayaki. Nayaki means head. Il means house. Tayyal Nayaki. She is the best woman in the world. Miss Woman, Mrs. Woman title you can give. So she is called Tayyal Nayaki. That kshetra is famous for Kuja. Who's Kuja? Angaraka. That is why in that Kriti he says, Dinarakshakam pujita Vaidyanatha kshetram Angarakamashrayamyaham Vinata ashrita janamandaram Mangalavaram Bhumi Kumaram Varam Varam. Vaidyanatha Kshetram. That Kshetram, Shiva is called Vaidyanatha, Devi is called Balambika. That kshetram is famous for Angaraka. It has a sannidhi for Shanmukha. That Shanmukha is called Muttuswami. So when they went to this kshetram, they had a vow, they had a pledge that they shall stay in that kshetram, serve the devata there, and thereby seek and beseech a child that is absolutely blemishless to the core and is a repository of knowledge. Thereby she got pregnant, and then eventually a child was born. They gave that child that name, Muttuswami. So he was called Muttuswami Dikshita because of the Shanmukha of Vaidishwaran Kovil near Sirgali in the coastal part of Tamil Nadu. You have to remember. Sir, you are telling this. Has Muttuswami acknowledged? Auru Seri Helbekalva, he has said. Shri Vagbhavakuta Jata Chaturveda Swarupinim Shringara Kamarajodhava Sakala Vishwavyapinim Devim Shakti Bijodhava Matrika Nasharirim Devanuta Bhavarogahara. You have to listen to the words. Devanuta, praised by the Lord's Bhavaroga, the one who is able to take away family, the living which is a disease. Devanuta Bhavarogahara. Vaidyapati Hridaya Viharinim. Bhavaragata Modinim, Bhavaragata Modinim, Bhaktarishta Pradayinim, Sevaka Janapalana Guruguharupa, Muttukumara Jananim, Bhajare Re Chittam, Balambika. Muttukumara Janani, mother, you have birthed me. Now, Muttuswami Dikshita is born. Now we have to do a bit of history. What is that history? In the 13th century, we had Mahanubhavas in Delhi. They were great Acharya Purushas. They were called Khiljis. Their pastime was to break temples. Whenever they'll get bored, Baro, ee devasthana yakiri. Their only pastime was that. So in 1311, you had the king called Alauddin Khilji, who took an expedition to the south. Some poet went and told him, oh, it is filled with gold, the south. He was referring to Kerala marriages. In Kerala, if you have to spot the bride in the marriage, you have to spot amidst those Malabar jewelry. Face ആയിട്ട് കിട്ടും. So this poet went and told lot of gold ആണ്. So Khilji thought, why not take an expedition south? He came down deep south. He attacked Srirangam that time, 1311, first attack Srirangam. Loads, the inscription says 260 tons of gold were taken. The inscriptional evidence, you can cross check, like Rajdeep you can do. So 260 tons were taken. 1321, the regime changed. Sir, you talk about Dikshita, we are talking about history. This is our problem. We never want to learn from our history, and we are in that state. 1321, the regime changed. From Khiljis and Malik Kafur, who was his general, came the next dynasty called Tughlaq. There was a king called Ghiyas-ud-Din Tughlaq in 1311 in Delhi, 1321 in Delhi, and he sent his eldest son on an expedition south. Attack number 2. That eldest son was called as Ulugh Khan. Ulugh Khan was the one who was renamed later as Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He attacked Srirangam and he attacked Madurai. Both Vishnu temple and Devi temple attacked. Loads of gold taken. Now this man, he did another big kainkariya. Before leaving Madurai, he established one of his generals as the king there. He was called Sayyid Jalaluddin Ahsan Khan. He set up a Madurai Sultanate in Madurai. 1336, I'm talking roughly 600-700 years back. It was the Madurai Sultanate in Madurai. That is when South was getting very, very weak. Kakatiyas were weak. Hoysalas couldn't fight back. Cholas were getting weak. Pandyas did not have the struggle. That is when Vidyaranya in Vijayanagara, with the help of two generals called Harihara and Bukkaraya, set up this great dynasty called as Vijayanagara. From 1336, the dynasty started flourishing. It reached its zenith during the times of Krishnadevaraya, the Kainkaryas that he did. So anything below Bellary district, if you take that line, it was all safe. But this Vijayanagara dynasty started getting weak after a battle called the Battle of Talikota in 1565 AD. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಸರ್, ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸೆಲ್ಲ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್? We should remember our history. A country that doesn't remember its history and doesn't learn from its history will never have a future. 1565 dynasty started getting weak. It did last. It doesn't mean after Talikota battle the Vijayanagaras went away. It lasted, but a very weak Vijayanagara. Around that time, the Vijayanagaras had vassals. They had rajas who were reporting to them. They were called Nayakas. They were set up in 3 different places in Tamil Nadu. One around a place called Jinji, second one Tanjavur, third one was Madurai. In this regime, there was this Madurai Nayaka, right? There was a Nayaka named Raghunatha Nayaka who founded the current day Veena. In Saraswati's photo, we will give her one Veena. It will be from Radal Music Store, we give her. But that Veena is only 400 years old. So that Veena was founded. Point number 1. So Nayakas were there in Madurai. Nayakas were there in Tanjavur. Nayakas were there in Jinji. Now, we have had Nayakas. Now we will have to go to another regime because Nayakas lasted for some time, but they were getting weak. Now, who were they succeeded? By the Marathas. So Marathas came south and had Tanjavur as their base. That is when the Maratha kings came from Maharashtra south, they wanted a replacement for an ingredient. In Maharashtra, the tamarind-like ingredient is called kokum. They did not know what to use kokum with. Then they found tamarind was used in Tamil Nadu. So they started using tamarind. That is when sambar powder came to Tanjavur. Sambar came through the Marathas. Puran Poli, we say, right? That became Boli and Holige here. That is how it came. So they brought the Mridangam as well. So they came up with a concept called Hari Katha. They said, why don't you, because they had Varkari Parivar, dhimikitta, bajamridanga, brahmatalakari, gajanana, tandavanrityakari. அப்படின்னு சொன்னாலாம், அதை கேட்டுட்டு அவர் வந்தாராம். அதை கேட்டுட்டே இருக்கும்போது, we say, right, this is Harikatha style. So Marathas brought it. So Marathas came after the Nayakas. It is around this period when Ramaswamy Dikshita was in Thiruvarur. I have to give you the historical context, right? So they were in Thiruvarur. Now, they had this influence of the Marathas. That is why I said they learnt many languages. Because Nayaka spoke Telugu. Maratha spoke Marathi. The common people spoke Tamil. Scholars spoke Sanskritam. So you had a necessity to learn variety of languages. They started learning. Now, in that period, in Thiruvarur, I am talking about the weakening of the Vijayanagara, then the later weakening of the Nayakas, the slow ascending rise of Marathas. Around that period in Thiruvarur, in a span of less than 15 years, 3 people were born in the same street. Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitar and Shama Shastri. All 3 were from Thiruvarur. In Tamil Nadu, another person was also from Thiruvarur. But we will talk about a set of useful people. Now, so they were in that region. Now, why did they shift from Jinji? Because Nizams and Nawabs became very strong. Slowly, Marathas started losing their influence. Nizams and the Nawabs from the Sultanate of Bijapur, they started coming down. You had Hyderabad. Slowly, it started getting Nizamized. See, a lot of words that we use in the Karnataka government context will be Persian in nature. Khata. That's nowhere a Kannada word. We say red Kannada matadbeku. Ade Kannada illa. Lot of words. So they all came on horses. They were called Gurramvaru. Telugu bhashalo Gurramvaru ante the one who rides the horse. So they all forced these people to go south. So that is when they all settled in Thiruvarur. As they settled in Thiruvarur, slowly the British started coming. See, Vijayanagara, fall of the Vijayanagara, fall of the Nayakas, rise and the fall of Marathas. Slowly, Britishers started entering the coast of Tamil Nadu. They found Chennai as their base. That time, there was a person called Sir George Pigott. He wanted to, they had come for business, exploiting, but they don't know the local language. They wanted to find people who could speak two languages. They were called Dvibhashis. Dvibhashi became the word Dubash. So Dubashas started settling in Chennai. That is when one Dubash found that this family of Ramaswamy Dikshita is a very talented musical family. They should be brought from Thiruvarur to Chennai. So young Muthuswamy Dikshita with Chinnaswamy Dikshita, Baluswamy Dikshita and Balambal, his two other brothers and one sister, they all migrated to Chennai. I'm talking roughly 250 years back, around that period. Now this Muthuswamy Dikshita had two wives. That we can't help. That's a story. Why did he marry? We don't know. He had two wives. Now this Muthuswamy Dikshita was a very talented person from his birth. Very talented. Now, at that point in time, there was a guru called Chidambaranatha Yogi. Is it too much of information? I can't help. That's a topic. So Chidambaranatha Yogi. Chidambaranatha Yogi, he wanted to do a yatra to the north. See, today, just imagine our lives. 2 days later, you want to have darshan in Ayodhya, Ramajanmabhoomi temple. Process is simple. You go, make my trip, clear trip. You book your ticket. You call someone. You use influence. Go take one hotel there. And then if they ask you to walk 10 feet, by then we will take one painkiller, Jessic, everything, and then walk. For them, doing a yatra to the north, you won't believe. If they take a 3-month trip to the north, half of them who are going in the trip will die. You can't get food every day. Where will you get Rameshwaram cafe? Yeshtu adralli upayogavagiro vastu. How much ghee? Between ghee, there is one small dosa. So in the midst, see, it looks as if Narayana is sleeping on Ksheerasagara. Now, he took an expedition northwards. So he went along with Chidambaranatha Yogi. They went to different kshetras. They reached Varanasi because Kashi was the center of learning. Maduvenalli ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರ ಕಾಶಿ ಯಾತ್ರೆನೇ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Kashi is so important. That is why every other place will be referred to as Kashi. Ten Kashi, Shiva Kashi. Kashi will be there everywhere. Halvanallu irutte. Have you heard of Kashi halwa? Nodi, Halvanallu ide. Bere yav kshetra ide? Do we say Prayagraj halwa? Only Kashi halwa. Now, he went to the north. When he went to the north, he was influenced by Hindustani music. See, that is how a great learner always learns like a bee. He takes the best. You will find a huge influence of Hindustani Sangeetam in Dikshita's composition. Now, on their return, so they have gone to the top. On their return, while they are coming, they go to a kshetram very close to Chennai called as Tiruttani. Tiruttani is a kshetram of Kartikeya, Skanda. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯ ಘಾಟಿ ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯ ಇದೆಯೋ ತಮಿಳುನಾಟಿലെ அறுபடை வீடுகள்ல ஒன்று திருத்தணிகை, தணிகை மலை என்று பெயர். He goes there, he has darshan. There he sees one saint. Looking at Muthuswami Dikshita, he says, you want prasada? You know, in generally when you go to the temple, you won't feel like saying no, because what if that is really God? Bhagavanta has come, so you'll say, yes sir, okay, you give. He said, open your mouth. That is a part of a rhyme, correct? Johnny, Johnny, open your mouth, ah ha ha, right? He said, open your mouth. He opened, he threw one candy into it. That's all. The first kriti came. Sri.Nathadi Guruguho Jayati Jayati Sri.Nathadi Guruguho Jayati Jayati Sri Chidanandanathohamiti Santatam Hridini Bhaja Sri.Nathadi Guruguho Jayati. That kriti to sing, first, forget the meaning. That is secondary. Singing itself. Just look at the charanam. Maya Maya Vishwadhishtano Matmaka Kadimatanushtano Malini Mandalanta Vidhano Mantradya Japa Hamsadhyano Maya Karya Kalana Hino Mamaka Sahasra Kamalasino Madhurya Ganamritapano Madhavadya Bhayavara Pradano Maya Shabalita Brahmarupo Marakoti Sundara Swarupo Matimatam Hridaya Gopura Deepo Shuradi Jaya Pratapo Maya Malava Gauladi Desha Mahipati Pujita Pradesha Madhavadyamara Brinda Prakasha Maheshasya Maharthopadesha Shri. One charanam goes to about 14 lines. First kriti. What a wonder this Muthuswami Dikshita created with the ragam Maya Malagaula. It is a Sampurna ragam. Now, as he received the blessings of Kartikeya, he thought, he is called Guha. Kartikeya is called Guha. Who is this Guha to me? He is my Guru. So, Guru Guha became his mudra. How do we know that? First line, Srinathadi Guruguho Jayati. Now, what did Muthuswami Dikshita do after that? He had LFC, LTA. He went kshetram after kshetram. That is why I told you at the start, in Shaiva Siddhanta, it is a belief that the Panchabhutas vest in Shiva, who is in the form of Panchabhuta Tirthasthalas. Vayu kshetram is Srikalahasti. Bhu kshetram, Prithvi kshetram is Ekambranatha kshetram of Kanchipuram. Akasha kshetram is Chidambaram. Agni kshetram is Arunachalam. Jala kshetram is Trianekaval. These are the 5 sthalas. Now he is very close around that Chennai Kanchipuram region. I hope you are all able to follow the map. So, he goes to this kshetram called Thiruvannamalai. We know Annamalai? Yes, sir. Tamil Nadu, we know Annamalai. Now, this is Thiruvannamalai. This Thiruvannamalai is called Arunachala, Achala mountain, Arunachala, because it is believed in Shaiva that Shiva was in the form of a pillar of fire. Mariyayanum kana ariya jyoti adi andam illa palamanari puram yerita mukkan kolundeyandan punyamurti subramanian tandaye Paratpara Parameshwara Parvati Pate Harapashupate. So that kshetram is Arunachala.
You know what is the Devi called? Very good. Apita Kuchamba. It is believed that in Shaiva theology, that Devi gave the milk of ambrosia to a little boy called Jnana Sambandar. Now people after that were started worrying, sir, aurge divine milk kotbitre nam hiratta. So she is the mother for the universe. She has milk, so much so that it has not yet been utilized. Apita Kuchamba. Now, what is the greatness of Thiruvannamalai? Shiva is called Arunachala. Devi is called Apita Kuchamba. Third, that particular kshetram in Shaivam is believed that if you think of Arunachala, you'll get moksham. You don't have to go. Illinda bus takkondu. Go, you have to go take a ticket, then go there, get down at the bus stand, then take one hotel, take bath, then go to all that. You think of Arunachala, you'll get moksha. These are all the salient features of that kshetram. Look at how Dikshita packs it. Arunachala Natham Smarami. He uses the word Smarami. Think. He doesn't say Bhajami. Smarami Anisham Apita Kuchamba Sametam. You learn this kriti. You don't need to refer. Grok, tell me, kahan aaye hain? You don't have to ask Grok and Gemini. One kriti will give you the full information. Smaranat Kaivalya Pradacharanaravindam Tarunaditya Koti Sankasha Chidanandam Karunarasadi Kandam Sharanagata Surabrindam Arunachala. What ragam? You're all experts, veterans here. Aprakrita tejomaya lingam atyadbhuta karadhrita sarangam. Shiva, if you see the Chola bronzes, you will see a deer here. A deer is called as Saranga. What else is called Saranga? Very good. Who said that? Elephant is called Saranga. If you read Dikshita's kritis, you will become an expert in Amarakosham. Because for that word, he uses Saranga. Now, Saranga also means elephant, correct? So, Gajendra can be called Sarangendra. Where does he use that? Where? Saundara Rajatle. Very good. Rangapura Vihara Jaya Kodandaramavatar Raghuvira Shri Ranga Pura Vihara Angaja Janakade Vabrindavana Sarangendra Varada. Sarangendra Varada. Gajendra Varada. Because Saranga means elephant there. Here it means deer. The way he uses it. So from Thiruvannamalai, he goes around that region itself. The north border of Tamil Nadu, Tamil-speaking country, Vedanta Deshika says, Agastya Bhasha Deshathukku Uttaravadhiya irukkakoodiyadu Thiruvengadam. The northern border of the Tamil-speaking country, as per the commentators, is Tirupati. Ideally, Tirupati should have come to HRNC. Thank God. It went into Andhra. Then, if it had come into Tamil Nadu, till date, Bhagavan could have not even paid the interest amount to Kubera. Seshachalanayakam bhajami Seshachalanayakam. This is a very deep raga. What is it called? Varali. I'm sure I've told this in a few of my lectures. I don't know if many of you have heard. Varali traditionally was never taught. Because it was a myth that if the teacher teaches Varali, then the teacher and the student will fight. That was a myth. So teachers never used to teach Varali, but students wanted to learn Varali. Because then only you can fight and come. Right? So, there is this famous Pancharatna. Sapatni matayau surujije karna shulamina mata vinula churukana talaka sriharini dhyaninchi sukhimpagaleda kana ruchira. One lady from Bangalore went. You know what was the lady? Nagaratnamma from Bangalore. She worked hard for the Tyagaraja Aradhana, but nobody knew this Kriti. Because they have not learned. There was only one Mahavidwan called Maharajapuram Vishwanatha Ayyarwal. In Tamil, we generally use Ayyarwal as a respect. Ayyarwal nu sonna adu oru alagu. He had learnt Varali Kriti, Kanakana Ruchira. Others did not know. But if you teach, you will fight. So, you know what he did? He sat in the second floor of the building. He asked the students to sit in the first floor. He said, I will sing. Because I don't have any students in front of me. I am singing for my own pleasure. Whatever you listen, you learn. That is how Kanakana Ruchira was learnt. Sesha Chalanayakam. Then, from Tirumala Tirupati, Muthuswami Dikshitar comes to Kanchipuram. Where does he come? Babusha, Varamahalakshmi, Angadi, all that. He didn't come. He went straight to the temple of Varadaraja. What a grand Bhagavan he is. How much my hero Vedanta Deshika venerates that Bhagavan. What a Divyamangala Vigraham. What is that Mahalakshmi's grandeur, Mahadevi? That kshetram of Kanchipuram is known for a seva called Garuda Seva. You should see the big crowd of people reciting Vedam and Prabandham at about 11:45 a.m. in the mid-afternoon during the month of May in Kanchipuram. Without slippers, they'll be walking. We will be standing somewhere there. Isn't it really hot today? I just need to have some buvonto or something. It just cools me down. They will be walking there. They are walking under the sun. They won't feel the heat. We will be somewhere, but we will want something. Red Bull, Vrishabham. Right? So, Neelamegha-jita shariram Niratishayanandakaram. He describes Bhagavan there. Neelamegha-jita. Dark rain-bearing clouds. It is just about to precipitate. That hue is Bhagavan. Neela Meghajita Shariram Niratishayanandakaram Kanchi. He says, in which kshetram I am singing? Because there is one Varadaraja Swami near Maddur. Have you heard? Then people will start fighting. Avaru Kanchipuram Varadari illari avaru. Nam Maddur kade. So he clears the confusion. Kanchi Nagara Viharam. If you go to the Devi's temple there, Kamakshi, in the side entrance you can see Vishnu. He is called Kalvar. Kalvar means thief. Because when Parvati and Lakshmi were talking, he eavesdropped. So she held the ear. Dey Tirda, Kolla Baro Illi. Kali Rakshita Choram. Dikshita says that one anecdote he brings in that word Choram. Kalidosha Haratirtha Prabhava Guruguhadinatam. Kapila Shukadi Sannuta. 11 minutes before I told you one seva is very famous there. Garudavaharudham Varadarajamupaasmahe Vanajasanadi Pujitam Varadarajam. Vanaja. Who is Vanaja? Pakatla irka mami se. எங்காவது பக்கத்தில் ஒரு மாமி வடாம் சப்ளை பண்ணுறா, சண்டிகை கொடுத்தாரு, மாமி ಹೆಸರು ವನಜಾ ಮಾಮಿ ಅಂತ. ವಾಟ್ ಡಸ್ ವನಜಾ ಮೀನ್? ಲೋಟಸ್. Lotus. Who came from the lotus? How do we decide? Vana means forest, right? Very good. Who said that? Excellent. Vana means water. So that which rises from the water is the lotus. So Mahalakshmi is called Vanaja, Vanajasana. That's why if you read Dikshita's Kriti, we will get that beginner's level Samskrita proficiency. The way he uses it. Now, very close to Kanchipuram. See, I'm going by the map. If you follow the map, you can follow my lecture. Tirupati, Kanchipuram, Tiruttani, Tiruvannamalai, and amidst this is one kshetra for Nrisimha. It is called Sholingar. Mikkanai, Marayai Virinda Velakkai, Yennul Pukkanai, Pugalsher Poliginna Ponmalayai, Takkanai, Tadigai Kundin Mishayirunda Akkarakkaniyai Adaindu Uindu Ponene, says Alvar. Sir, tumba tough agide sir ee Tamilu. What do we do? Alvar has written in one Tamil that we don't understand. He doesn't understand our Tamil. Switch konjam on pandrela. Switch on. Both are English. Switch konjam on pandrela. Mattam is Tamil. So we speak Tanglish. He doesn't know. Now, in this kshetra, 200 years before Muthuswami Dikshitar, there was a great devotee called Doddayacharya Swami. From Sholingar, every year for the Garuda Seva in Kanchipuram, he would walk and go. In those days, if I don't have to keep stressing the word walk and go, there was no other transport. They have to go means you have to walk. So they didn't have to do it's 10,000 steps today. The Fitbit just says that. I don't know, I'll just be having some tofu with some chia seeds to go. All that they didn't have to do because they kept on walking. So they walked. One year when he was aging, because of his age, he couldn't travel that distance to Kanchipuram. So this Doddayacharya Swami in Sholingar, by the banks of a lake, was thinking, oh, now Varada would have come down from the steps. He would have got inside this mantapam. Oh, he would have come by now near Gopuram. Oh, near the Gopuram, they would be lifting him on Garuda. And as they are lifting him on Garuda, they will keep both the white umbrellas together, and beneath the shade of those two grand white umbrellas, Varada will be coming. This Doddayacharya Swami was unstapling his memories. For a second, Varadaraja, it is believed, disappeared in Kanchipuram, and for a second, he gave a glimpse of darshan to Doddayacharya. 1 second, he went back. Even today in Kanchipuram, when Bhagavan comes out, for a second, the two umbrellas are closed. They will say Doddayacharya Swami Seva. In Sholingar, 35 kilometers away, they'll be doing Harati there because Bhagavan is there. How do we know? Muthuswami Dikshita says that in one line. Murahara Nagadhara Sarasijakara Parama Purusha Pavanaja Shubhagara Suruchira Karigiri Varada Vichara Sarasa Guruguha Hridaya Sahachara Narasimham Agacha Shweta Pucha Suruchira Karigiri Varada Vichara. From here, one devotee saw that Karigiri. Kari is elephant. Elephant is Hasta. Hastagiri is Hastigiri, which is Attigiri. 2019, he became super famous. Atti Varadar. That Atti is Hasti. Hasti is elephant. Elephant is Giri. That Varadaraja was seen by him in Sholingar. One word. Full encyclopedia. He pays. Now, he has come to Kanchipuram. Kanchipuram, you find houses, but between temples. Because every third house will be a temple. Amidst temples, you will find some houses here and there. He has sung Varadaraja. There Kamakshi is waiting. Kamalesha Sodari Kamalakshi Narayani Nada Bindu Kala Swarupini Katyayani Kamakala Pradarshini Kalyana Gunashalini Amba Kamakshi Kamakoti Pithavasini. You know what is this ragam? But he doesn't call it Simendra Madhyamam. Very good. Kaumari Kusuma Dhyuti Kaumari Kusuma Dhyuti Hema Bharana Bhushani Samasta Samrajyadaini Sadguru Guhajanani Kamakshi. So he sings about her Kanchi. Now he has to speak more about her beauty because he's a Sri Vidya Upasaka. He celebrates only Devi. Vishnu, Rama, Krishna are all like pickles. Urga Mari Totupar. Main Devi. That is why I told you at the start itself, I don't know much about Shaktam. Whatever little I know, I'll speak. How is Devi's face? Raka Shashivadane. Full moon. She's like full moon. But is comparing to a full moon correct? Because moon has craters. Correct? I'll give you one small point here. In a time, Kishan has said, you should not take more time, then we will come and close the screen. So, in Srimad Ramayanam, I'm sure you're all veterans in Ramayanam. Many of you will be doing Nitya Parayanam. Many of your families will have Ramayanam in their houses. You will all be experts, so much so that Valmiki, if he has a doubt, he will ask. Nimatra sir, onde un doubt ide nan Ramayanadalli. You are all experts. Now in the Ramayana, Sundara Kandam is one famous portion. Everybody will be reading Sundara Kanda. In the Sundara Kanda, there is one full chapter dedicated to the moon. Hanuman gets inside Lanka, right? Because he starts in the morning, crosses Surasa by the afternoon, then reaches in the early part of the evening into Lanka, then goes to different places. He's been wanting to search for Sita, whom he has never seen. That is a beauty. He searches for a lady whom he has never seen, never met, never even spoken to. Message kuda madilla. Not even one voice message. Hello, hi, I'm just coming. Wherever you are, I'll meet you soon. See ya. Nothing he said. Now he has to search. One full chapter in Sundarakandam is dedicated to the moon. You know what Valmiki says? Now the moon, he says in one shloka, you can go and check also later. Dushyanth andre aa kaladalli martogbitta, iವರು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನು Dushyanth andre. So you can go and double check also. In that chapter, you know what Valmiki says? Hanuman sees the moon which looks like the horns of a bull. How will a moon look like the horns of a bull? It will look like the horns of a bull only during eclipse. When Hanuman entered Lanka, it was Chandragrahanam. That is why till 1 in the early morning, he is not able to find. Later, at about 3 a.m. to 1 jama before the Suryodaya, we call it jama in Tamil, yama, shabdam in Sanskritam. At that point in time, he sees. That is when Ravana comes. So, moon, whenever they describe, they will say, oh, moon-like face. But moon has one blemish. It has many craters. But it is believed before Daksha Prajapati gave the curse on his son-in-law, the moon, he was very clear, no acne. Clear. Raka Shashivadane. Raka Shashi, full moon like face. Raka Shashivadane. Suradane, Rakshita Madane, Ratna Sadane. Now there is a big difference of opinion. Musicians say it is Sri Kanchana Vasane. But Paramacharya of Kanchi used to say it is Sri Kanchi Nivasane. Whichever is fine to you, you sing. Shri Kanchana Vasane Surasane Shringarashraya Mandahasane. The way he writes is also associated with the emotion there. See, when he has to say, she laughs very gently. Mandahasane. You can write that way also, right? But he knows the emotion because he knows the meaning. That is our problem. We don't know the meaning. Shri Kanchanavasane Surasane Sringarashraya Mandahasane. Ambal இப்படி சிரிப்படோ. Mandahasane Ekaneekakshari Bhuvaneshwari Ekanandamrita Bhaswari Ekagra Manolayakari Shrikari Ekamresha Griheshwari Shankari Kanjadalaya Takshi. Look at the word he uses eka, aneka times. He uses the word one many times. Eka, aneka, akshari. Because there are very many bijakshara mantras, which is one and many. Eka, aneka, akshari, bhuvaneshwari, ekananda, ekananda, amrita jari. The one who is the only source of giving bliss. Ekagra manolayakari. When your focus is single pointed, she will come. Ekagra manolayakari Shrikari. Who is she? The consort to Ekamresha, the one who sits under one single mango tree. Ekamresha Griheshwari Shankari Kanchadalaya Takshi. Her eyes look like the petals of a newly blossomed lotus that has just blossomed. Not even 12 noon you should take that lotus, then it would have faded. 6 a.m. if it blossoms, those petals are her eyes. This is on Kamakshi. Now he has to travel. He cannot be in his own region. Now he goes slowly to the coast, to a kshetram called Chidambaram. In Chidambaram, that is a beautiful temple. If you stand in one place, you can see 2 Rajas. Raja 1, Raja 2. Who is this Raja 1, Raja 2? Raja 1 is Natraj, the other one is Govindraj. You can see both. On both he has written Ananda Natana Prakasham Chitsabhesham. This is in the ragam called Kedaram Samagama Panisa Sanibama Garisa Kedaradi. He brings that name there. That is his greatness. You don't have to hunt. Idu yav raga? It will be there. Answer is in the given question. See, at times in great exams, competitive exams, they'll tell you the answer is in the question itself. Hunt. He is that kind of a genius. There he talks about a minor detail. I would not call it minor, it's a very important detail. Chidambaram is famous for a set of 3,000 Dikshita families who serve. It is not under HRNC. It is under Dikshitas. He says, Bhutesham Shardula Charmambaram Chidambaram Bhusura Trisahasra Munishwaram 3,000 Dikshitas. There he talks about Govindaraja, because in that kshetram, Nataraja is dancing. Nataraja, Shiva is the greatest dancer. His wife is also a dancer. Shiva Kameshwarim Chintaye. She is dancing. Both of them are dancing. They called Govindraj, you come and judge who is a better dancer. They kept on dancing every night. Govindraja said, see, I'll become very tired. He slept. In that kshetram, he's reclining. New dance adtairi. So that is Govindaraja. Now as he continues from Chidambaram, he goes to a kshetram called Mayavaram. Mayavaram in Tamil is called as Mayiladurai. If you book a train ticket, it will say Mayiladurai. If you book to Kadalur, it will never say Kadalur. It will say Tiruppadiri Puliyur. ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ತಿರುಪಾದಿರಿ ಪುಳಿಯೂರು. It's not like Kant. We have Kant here, right? Have you heard of Kant? Cantonment. So that's Kant for us. We are the Sobo people. But there you have to go to Mayiladurai. So in that Mayiladurai, there again he has sung. See, wherever he goes, he will sing only in bulk. See, in the 1990s and early 2000s, if you go to any vessel shop, there was something very famous called copper bottom. Have you heard? It won't be a single vessel. Vessel within vessel within vessel with. So it's called Vibhakti Kriti for him. By Abhayamba, for Abhayamba, to Abhayamba, by of all Abhayamba, he'll be singing Vibhakti Kritis. So he sang Vibhakti Kritis on Abhayamba because Abhayamba is the Devata in Mayavaram. Mayuranatha. There is a kshetram for Vishnu there. You know what is he called? Fragrant Ranganatha. Very good. Good smelling Ranganatha. Baki Ranganatha, we don't know. He is called Parimala Ranganatha. Get them as your sponsor next year. Parimala Ranganatha. So, smells well. Why should that Bhagavan smell well? Because the Sthala Mahatmyam says that when Bhagavan went as Matsya and retrieved the Vedas, he was soaked in the waters for some time. If you are soaked, you will smell bad. So, if you go by the coast of Udupi for some time, they would have dried those fishes. Right? Just because we like Matsyavataram, we cannot say. Right? ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಗಂಧ. They will say, sir, the taste is better than the smell. That is different for people like me who eat only curd rice. What will we do? So, now Bhagavan, after retrieving the Vedas from the deep trenches of the waters, needed smell. The Vedas needed smell because the Vedas were soaked. They prayed to Bhagavan. Bhagavan said, I will give you Gandham here. So Bhagavan granted good fragrance to the Vedas that believed that they were of an obnoxious odor because of being soaked in the waters for a while. So he is called Parimala Ranganatha. Smell should be complete. Correct? See, there is a beauty about smell. We all use, right, Brat and whatnot, Yardley and whatever you feel like, fog. But have you ever felt? First few minutes you will have that smell. After that you can never smell. The smell has not gone. Your cells, epithelial cells die. That is a medical explanation. They will lose that memory. So smell should not go. Imagine the smell lasts on you forever. That means it should be a Purna. Purnatvam. See, you have to get the musical nuance here. When you divide the ragas in Shastriya Sangeetam, you have Pratimadhyamam and Shuddhamadhyamam. Sarigama Padanisa Shankara Bharanamu Sarigama Padanisa Mannavan Vandanadi Tori Sariga Mamavan Sariga Mama 2. This is Pratimadhyamam. That is Shuddha Madhyamam. For completeness, you need M1 and M2. So for Parimala Ranganatha, he chose Hamir Kalyani, which has M1 and M2. Parimala Ranganatham. That genius mind to use what raga, which word, where. It is not something that we can say, oh, I will also be. Yake, now why can't I be Muthuswami Dikshitar? You have to keep on throwing pages after pages. You have to get the swaraksharam right. That swaram and aksharam should be in the same place. It is a genius. Talam should fit. And I hope you all know, the second letter of the Pallavi and the Anupallavi will be the same. You know that? How many people don't know? You have to be honest. Eno sir, sumne eno kelta idire. Bantu riti koluviyavaiya Rama. Bantu, right? Second, what is Anupallavi? Tunta. Bantu, second. Tunta. Pallavi and Anupallavi, second aksharam will be the same. You have to write. You have to compose that way. The aksharam should fall. That is how Tyagaraja has written. If you have to go into that music and see what they have followed the rules. சிந்தை தன்னுள் நீங்காதிருந்த திருவே. See, for me, somewhere I have to bring my Alvar. மறுவினியமைண்டா அந்தன் ஆலிமாலே சோலை மழக்களிரே நந்தா விளக்கின் சுடரே நரையூர் நின்ற நம்பி என் எந்தாய் இந்தளூராய் இந்தளூராய் இந்தளூர் இந்துசூர் மூன்ஸ் பிளேஸ் Chandram Bhajamanasa. Vara Kritis he has written. If you read his Navagraha Kritis, what a man he was. Minute details he will record. Then from Mayavaram, I'm giving you the map. He has to go by the coast. He reaches a place called Nagapattinam. Have you heard of Nagapattinam? Have you seen Ponniyin Selvan? Veera Raja Veera Shura. Yes, sir. There in that kshetram, there is a Devi called Neelayatakshi. She is form of Parvati, Neelayatakshi. Look at that Kriti. He has sung Neelambari there. Bimbadhari. Her lips are like the bimba fruit. Bimbadhari. He uses the word bimbadhari again, but in a different context. Chit pratibimbadhari. Pratibimbam is reflection. Bimbadhari. Chit pratibimbadhari. What does she do to our minds and hearts? She pulls using ropes and nooses and catches them. Bindunada Vashankari. Vashankari. She brings it under her Vasham. Who is she? Shankari. Can you see the difference? Bindunada Vashankari. Shankari. How is she captivating our hearts so much? Because she is the sister to the husband of Lakshmi. Mama yaru? Maithili Athikarar. Avarku per kedayada. Who is this Mama? I should say he is Srinivasan. He is Maithili's husband. That means he has lost his identity. Because of Maithili only he exists. Ambuja Ramana Sodari. Adari. Ambari Kadambari Neelambari Amba Neelayatakshi. He brings a reference that this is the capital of Shaivagama. Shivarajadhani Kshetravasini. You are in the Rajadhani, the capital. Rajadhani, we know only one express. To Delhi it will go Rajdhani Express. It will start 6:30 every day. It will start. Rajadhani is the capital. Shaiva capital was Nagapattinam. Shiva Rajadhani Kshetravasini. Chidrupa Vilasini. Now he gives you the exact details of Sri Vidya. Navayogini Chakravikasini Navarasadarahasini Suvarnamaya Vigraha Prakashini Suvarnamaya Hasini Bhuvanodaya Sthithilaya Vinodini Bhuvaneshwari Kshipra Prasadini Navamanikya Varavallaki Vadini Bhava Guruguha Vedini Sammodini Amba. He has focused on the Devi. Then he goes to the lighthouse of Nagapattinam, because Pattinam means city. Today it is a town. In the erstwhile period, it was a city. So it was a port. So how will you know this is a port? There should be space for the ships and the boats to come. And for the ships and boats to recognize, you need a lighthouse. So the Gopuram of the Vishnu temple there used to have fire throughout, and that was the lighthouse. Who is that Vishnu, sir? He is Mr. World. His name is Saundarya Raja. Beautiful. Ponnivar meni maradagatin பொங்கிளம் சோதி அகலத்தாரம் மின்னிவர் வாயில் நல்வேதம் ஓதும் வேதியர் வானவர் ஆவர் தோழி என்னையும் நோக்கி என் நல்குலும் நோக்கி ஏந்திளங்கொங்கையும் நோக்குகின்றார். அன்னே என் நோக்கும் மஞ்சுகின்றேன் அச்சோ ஒருவர் அழகியவா. ಅಚ್ಚೋ ಅಂತ ತಮಿಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಜನರಲಿ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಪೊಯಿಟ್ಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್, ವೆನ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್, ಶಬ್ದಕೋಶ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಅಚ್ಚೋ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ಆ, ಊ, ವಾ, ವಾಪ್ಸ್, ಉಲಾಸ್, ವಾ ಅಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ವಾವ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಉಲಗಮುಂಡ ಪೆರುವಾಯನ್ ವಾಯ ಕಿಳಿಚ, ಯು ಸೋ ಅಮೇಸ್ಡ್. It's all about the intonation that you give in your words. If you just take the right pauses, I'll get a Booker Prize. This feeling, it comes. I'll get an award. If I speak continuously, I should take the right pauses, that poise, right? I've seen all of it. Now this Bhagavan is Saundarya Raja, Mr. Handsome. सौन्दर्यराजं आश्रये गजबृन्दावन सारंग. Brindavana Saranga. Ragam has come. How delightful is he? Nandanandana Rajam Nagapattinarajam. When I used to take people on yatra in 2014, the priest there is also handsome. That kshetram, Bhagavan is handsome, Devi is handsome, priest is handsome. I told that priest, he felt a bit embarrassed. Sundari Ramarajam. Then he goes from Nagapattinam. He goes to a kshetram called Tirukkannamangai. See, there are various kshetrams. He has written 500 plus kritis. When will I finish? There's a kriti called Tirukkannamangai. There, the Moola Murti is 12 feet. He's called Bhaktavatsala. What is his Mahalakshmi's name? Abhishekavalli. What is famous about that Abhishekavalli? If you go to the kshetram of Krishnamangala kshetram, have darshan of Vishnu called Bhaktavatsala, go to the Lakshmi's Sannidhi, Bhagavati's Sannidhi. On either sides of Lakshmi, you will find two windows. During Uttarayanam, one window, the bees will construct a hive. In Dakshinayanam, will come to the other, even till date. Who says that? Dikshitar says, Suramaya Madhumakshikaradhitam. Madhumakshikaradhitam, that place where bees construct the hive. In 1700s, he has written this kriti. So the same bees are continuing. Their children, grandchildren, you can see them today. Now he goes to his kshetram. See, from Chennai all the way to Chidambaram, Mayavaram, Nagapattinam. Now he goes back along the Kaveri to his place called Thiruvarur, birthplace. There he sees the Devi. See, in Thiruvarur, make note, there are two Devis. One is called Bhoga Murti, the other one is called Yoga Murti. Bhoga Murti is with whom Tyagesha comes. She is called Nilotpalamba. The Yoga Murti is called Kamalamba. You know, if you search for Kamalamba Thiruvarur, that Devi in the entire world, she is the only Devi who will be seated in a yogic pose. She would have placed one leg over the other and then put her feet in the same direction. It is Kamalamba. Then he wrote one set of kritis called Kamalamba Nava Varnam. 9 fortresses for Sri Chakra. The way he writes it. Kamala Purasadanam Mrudugadanam Kamaniyaradhanam Kamalavadanam Kamala Bhajare. That Kamalalayam, you know what is that pond called? Massive pond. The grandest of the compositions, he gives it to his hometown. Right? If there is an MLA, at least they will construct one bridge for their constituency, right? E.G. Pura flyover. Yes. I think the next generation may see it. Kamala Purasadanam Kalyani. The way he handles Kalyani. How many kritis in Kalyani? But if you go to the Kalyani of Tyagaraja, that is at another level. Dadhinavanita Kshiramulu Ruchiyo Dasharathi Dhyana Bhajana Sudharasamu Ruchiyo Nijamugabal Kumanasa Nidhi Chala Sukhama. So there, now let's come back to his family problems. He needed money. See, how long can you keep on writing kritis? In those days, they used to say, Tenga Moodi Kacheri. Have you heard of it? Tamil Jolua, Kannada enne Anuvada Madake Nange Baralla. Tamil Tenga Moodi Kacheri means you will ask one person to sing for 3 hours. At the end of it, you won't pay him anything. One half coconut. Tenga Moodi Kacheri. Unga vidvathukku enna kudukkறது? I'm absolutely lost of words. Just take this coconut, you make chutney for your poha. Idukku Tenga Moodi in peru. We somehow want our artists to remain that way. When are we going to be, as a country, a very responsible country, learning to value our art? Nagaswaram should just come and play. You will put one mala. Or they will put one colorful shawl. There is one typical shawl. 350 rupees plus 5% GST. Nirbala Mami has said. Full of jari. Bright green. What will you do? Nai toratto. Yeah. All these. See, I tell all my organizers, don't give this shawl. I'm telling you from this stage. I am a blunt person. Whether you call me for the next time or not, I will tell. They will open that shawl, that Dinatandi paper will fall on that stage. I have had 1,000 such shawls. Today, if Draupadi asks for a sari, I will give. Nane kuduturuven. I will stitch the shawl together, right? So now he needed money. What will Dikshitar do? He went to the World Bank. Mahalakshmi Chiratan Chiratara Sampat Pradam Kshiram Budhitanayam Harivakshasthalayam Harini Charana Kisalayam Karakamala Druta Kumalayam Maragada Manimaya Valayam Hiranmayim. There they ask, why don't you sing about our local rulers? ನಮ್ಮ ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹಾಡು ದೀಕ್ಷಿತ್ರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹೀನಮಾನವಾಶ್ರಯಂ ತ್ಯಜಾಮಿ. I cannot sing about these low people, he said. Then where will he get money? Then he goes to a small place. You remember I told you at about 6:25 today. Vaidyalinga Bhupala, Zamindar, who lived in a small village which is southwest of. Very good. We learn about the 8 directions, right? North, east, west, south, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. That is how when we construct a house, immediately one Vastu person will come. He will say, keep the commode here at the entrance. Mane tagid bitre commode irbeku. Sir, you have to use the washroom only here. Then only your son will pass in the exam. For that, son has to study. If I keep the commode in the southwest, how will the son pass? But somehow Vastu person will say, ille sir commode irbeku. Kitchen elli irbeku. Commode elli ideo alli irbeku. So full house he will replace and give for us. ಇದು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್, ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೇನು ಲಾಸ್. Because you have to spend 20 lakhs on changing the commode, red pipes and all you have to change. Now, Dikshita was already poor. He says this kshetram of Vaidyanatha is southwest of Thiruvarur. In the Ashtadik Palaka stage, the Palaka who is in the southwest is called Nirriti. So he says, Vaidyalinga Bhupala Palanam Shri Pura. You remember I told you it is called as Mooladhara Kshetram. You remember? It is also called Shri Puram. That is why he wrote Navavaranam there. Shri Pura Nirriti Bhaga Garta Dhira Sthiratara Bhupala Palanam. Go to Thiruvarur first. Take your vehicle in the southwest direction. Nirriti Bhaga. There you will find this temple. Bhupala Palanam. This is the grandest of his compositions. You know what is this called? Chaturdasha Ragamalika. 14 ragas he uses in one kriti. Shri Vishwanatham Upasmahe Chaturdasha Bhuvana Ruparagamalika Bharana Dharananta Karanam Shri Chaturdasha Bhuvana. The way he comes up and down, Anuloma Pratiloma, he'll keep going between the ragas. Magic. Next, as we finish this, now Muthuswami Dikshita had 4 disciples. Now we have understood his kritis. He had 4 disciples. They were the grandsons of Gangamuttu, Subbarayan Nattuvanar. They were called Chinnaya, Ponnaya, Shivanandam, Vadivelu. They are called the Tanjavur Quartet. Chinnaya went to Mysore. He came to our side. Vadivelu went to Travancore, Thiruvananthapuram. Now, Dikshita, he wanted to continue his journey. So he had disciples. So disciples were following him. So he was very well celebrated and known. He went to Tiruchirappalli. What is Tiruchirappalli? Trichy. He went to Trichy. There is a Rockfort. There is one express also called Rockfort Express. You know, it is famous for a Shivasthalam called Tayum Anavar. It is believed that Shiva became the mother to a lady of the Vaishya Jati because her mother couldn't cross the Kaveri, which was flooding. The girl prayed, the mother prayed, Shiva came as the mother and delivered the child. Tayum Anavar, even the mother. Matru Bhutam. Matrubhutam later became a doctor. That is different. But now, for now, we have it as Shiva. Shri Matrubhutam. Oh Shiva, who is also the mother, where are you standing? In the hill of Rockfort. What is Rockfort called? Trishiragiri. Trishiragiri is Tiruchirappalli. Later. Trishiragirinatham Hridi. Who is Parvati there? Sugandhi Kuntalamba Sametam. She has such beautiful braid which is fragrant. Because that became a big debate in Madurai. I don't know if you know that Thiruvilayadal. Whether Pandian's wife's hair is naturally fragrant or because of L'Oreal. That was a big debate. Sugandhi Kuntalamba Sametam. They say, right? இந்துலேக்கா போட்டுக்குங்க, நல்ல வாசனை அடிக்கும் அப்படிங்கிற இல்லையா. சுகந்தி குந்தளாம்பசமேதம் ஸ்ரீ மாத்ருபூதம். Then comes another kshetram. This kshetram is a Shiva kshetram. Shiva is famous and Parvati is super famous. Avatla Mami romba famous. Who is this Mami? Akhilandeshwari. Now there is a debate. This Akhilandeshwari, which is super famous, the scholars say is not his kriti, but it is a beautiful kriti. Akhilandeshwari raksha mamagama. This is where Hindustani influence comes. It's called Dvijavanti. Jambhari sambhavite janadhananute jujavanti raganute jalli madhala jharavadyanata mudite jnana prade akhila. But they say it is not his kriti, but it is a beautiful kriti. Because Akhilandeshwari, remember, in this Thiruvannaikaval, is not the wife of Shiva there. She is aspiring to be the wife. So she is a Kanyastri who is praying to be the wife. So the Shiva there is of the water form. So if you go to that Sannidhi, you will find it a bit drenched, because it is a Jalasthalam. Jala is water. Now, Dikshitar lists down everything in his life, whatever is water associated, and puts them together in one kriti. And you know what is the ragam? Yamuna Kalyani. Jambupate mam pahi nijananda amrita bodham dehi. What is liquid? Yamuna Kalyani, the ragam. What is liquid? Amritam. Amritam. What comes from water? From water comes Brahma. Ambuja Sanadi. Comes lotus. He says that lotus comes from water in Tamil Nadu. Lotus comes in Tamil Nadu. Ambuja Sanadi. Sakala Deva Namana Tumburu Nuta Hridaya Tapopashamana. He read two. This is a 1 mark question. What is water? Universal coolant. In 7th standard physics you will get. Tapopashamana. 1 mark. What all contains water? Ambudhi. Let us begin from the north. Ganga. Then, oh, yak sir, illidbittu yake Gange bagge matadtira? Kaveri. Sir, आप क्या जी? आप वाराणसी आए थे, इधर सब सीख के आप कावेरी कावेरी कह रहे हैं, ये तो गलत बात है ना. Ambudhi Ganga Kaveri Yamuna. Why? The ragam is Yamuna Kalyani. He brings Kambu Kanthya Khilandeshwari Ramana Jambu. Every kriti today, these kritis we sing and we get titles. None we have written. Ali tabu tapa padidu. Kattunide tabu tapa padidu. Anjaneya. Pochu. Sanskritam 0. He is not Anjaneya. Anjaneya. அது ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம். What we have learned, but we get so much remuneration after singing it wrongly. இதில் டைட்டில் வேற கொடுத்துருவா, சங்கீத எனக்கு ஏதாவது உப்மா கேசரி, இது உபன்யாச உப்மா சார், உபன்யாச கேசரி, ஏதோ ஒன்று கொடுத்துட வேண்டியதுதான். சுமாராக சொல்லுவார் அவர், கேசரின்னு கொடுத்துட வேண்டியதான் டைட்டில். ஸோ he is our சங்கீத pitamaha. He is like Dasa, like Annamacharya. How much they have worked. Next he goes to my place, Srirangam. What a kshetram it is. Sapta prakara madhye sarasija mukulod bhasamane vimane Kaveri madhyadeshe mridutara phanirat bhogaparyanka bhage nidra mudrabirama katini gatashiraf parshva vinyasta hastam padma dhatri karabhyam parichita charanam rangarajam bhajeham. 21 gopuram, 68 sannidhis, Kaveri on both sides. The largest functioning granite world's temple is Srirangam. What a grandeur that temple has. What history. Who has not sung? Who has not served? Who has not relished that Bhagavan? Angaja janaka deva. Look at that line. Angaja Manmatha. Janaka, the one who has fathered Manmatha. He has fathered Cupid, which means to say, oh, if he has fathered Cupid, how handsome he will be. Angaja Janaka. Deva Brinda, groups of devas. Deva Brindavana, they are coming in a group. Sarangendra Varada Ramanta Ranga. You can join me. Shyamalanga Vihanga Turanga Sadaya Panga Satsangaranga. Jaya Kodanda Ramavatara Raghuvira Sriranga. When you go to Srirangam, you will never feel like coming back. And he takes you there. Muni Sankata Harana Govinda Venkata Ramana Mukunda Sankarshana Mulakanda Shankara. Today's topic, Gurughuhananda Ranga Puravihara. Now, I spoke about two other brothers. You remember 710? Today I told you. Chinnaswami, Baluswami and one sister called Balambal. Ide idam Ashok. Nyabagam irukka? Now, his younger brother Chinnaswami dies. I told you, right? Death was very, very common. That is why, I don't know, ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ, ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ವರ್ಷ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಮಗು ಹುಟ್ಟರೆ, ಬೋತ್ ದ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ದ ಮದರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಫಾದರ್, ಭಗವಂತನ ಹತ್ರ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನನಗೆ ನೀನು ಯಾವ ಕೊಡಬೇಡ, ನನಗೆ ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಥರ ಕೊಡು. ಕುಪ್ಪೈ ಇನ್ ತಮಿಳ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ something that you discard. You actually plead, Bhagavan, just give me, just throw something at me, let it be a child. So they will give the child Kuppu Swami, Kuppanna, have you heard? They will say Pichai. Now he's in Google. Sundar Pichai. Pichaya poduna pottar. Nama avarkitte indindirukkom. So Chinnaswami died. Now Muthuswami Dikshitar went in search of his other brother called 1 mark, Baluswami. Where will he go? See, today communication is so easy. If we start from the house, we have to message, started, on my way, on my way. Because in Bangalore, you have to keep on telling, on my way, on my way. Where? To Moksham. Right? Silk board, Bhuhu. KR Puram, Bhuvaha. Hebbal flyover, Suvaha. Like that, you will complete the entire Gayatri mantram there. Now, today See, do we even realize, even during my lifetime? See, I'm a millennial. I can see 20 years before, we didn't have a mobile. 25 years back, surely no mobile. There used to be one STD, ISD, PCO booth. There you have to go, hold on. Then somebody will keep seeing which number you have dialed. Then that number will keep going. Then you have to pay. Then you say, hello, I'm fine. Hope you're also fine. We won't even listen, we'll keep it down. And my parents' generation would have seen trunk call. Hello? You can listen that hello in that place. The telephone doesn't have to be. So we have seen all that communication. Right, today we have reached a stage where we verify if the other person has studied or my message or not. Neela toyata. It will has to turn blue. Correct? We are checking the other person. Yes. Why you have not checked? Now, how will he contact his brother, Balu? He went deep south. That time, there was one person who said, there is a new English instrument which has come. Mlecha instrument. This man is playing. I don't know what is his name. See, two things. Muthuswami Dikshitar is going in search of his younger brother, surviving brother, Balu Swami. He hears from a person that there is one person who plays an English instrument. We don't know what it is, but he plays it well. Muthuswami Dikshita connects. This must be my brother who's playing. That instrument, the new instrument, was called violin. That is how violin was introduced in India. Before that, you never had violin. So violin came that time. He goes there. As he goes in search of his brother, he goes via a village called Yettayapuram. You know Yettayapuram is also famous for? பஞ்சரத்னம் மாதிரி போயிட்டு இருக்குது. யாரு? மகாகவி பாரதி. வெரி குட். அப்புறம் சுப்பிரமணிய பாரதி. ஃபுல் நேம். வெரி குட். Yeah, so he is going to do something here. It is also associated with the great kings called Kattabomma Rajas. If you have heard of them. Now he goes to this Yettayapuram. Now the people who were living in the hamlet there, they all came in front of Dikshita and said, sir, somehow when rains come, they skip our place. For years together, we have not had rains. We don't even know where to go. Because, the other village will not accept them. Just because you go on a transfer, that village will not accept you. They'll say, you're increasing our population, the resources will get depleted, why have you come? And the British were ruling. What better justice you can expect from them? So what do we do, Dikshita? He said, don't worry. He had a veena. He invoked Bhavani. Like his father who came up with a ragam called, he came up with a ragam called Amrita Varshini. Ananda Amrita Karshini, Amrita Varshini, Bhavani Amrita Varshini, Shive Bhavani Amrita Varshini, Pujite Shive Bhavani Amrita Varshini, Haradi Pujite Shive Bhavani Ananda Amrita Karshini, Amrita Varshini, Shri Nandanadi. As he was singing, for the first time in years together, the clouds started slightly turning dark. Shri Nandanadi Samrakshini Shri Gurughuhananda. Aren't you my mother Bhavani? I am seeing you through this music. These people are suffering from no rains for years together. Even if you shed one drop of water from where you are, won't they get rains? Shri Nandanadi Samrakshini Shri Gurughuhananda. Janani Chidrupini Sananda Hridaya Nilaye Sadaye Satya Suvrishti Hetave Tvam Santatam Chintaye Amriteshwari Salilam Varshaya 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 Varshaya. Apt day for me to sing. There is cyclone. They will say he sang, it rained. Varshaya 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 Devi Varshaya Bhavani Varshaya Amrita Varshini Varshaya. It rained cats and dogs. So his ragam brought rains to a hamlet. Can we even think of one person paadina ninnu poidradhu pilla mala? So ninnuduthu sir mala. Varuna devade kuda bhayapadrar. Sumara paadrare idu. Now, looking at his caliber, looking at the genius that he was, a Bhupati Raja, Venkateshwara Yadava Bhupati, who was ruling that province, did a Kanakabhishekam on him. He said, you brought rains, I can give only gold. And he poured rain coins, gold coins on him. Now, all this he sang between 1775 and 1835. So how many years? 60 years. Sashtyabda Purti he has done. That's all he lived. He has traveled to so many places. He has achieved so much. He has had so many sishyas, everything. Now his kriti, see, that is one thing that we all missed, because history is something that needs to be documented through inscriptions, stone inscriptions, copper plate, literature, somewhere. We either lost, we probably didn't record all of it, or we recorded and they were lost. We don't know, because see, India is such a densely populated country that it's not as vast and deserted like some parts of Australia or central parts of America or Russia or Canada. We are densely populated. Wherever Ramayana and Mahabharata happened today, in those days, if 50 people live, 5,000 people are living. So where do we dig the earth and find inscriptions? It's very tough. So either we had it, we didn't preserve, or we didn't have it, or it was not preserved well. So history documentation, we have had some small limitation in ourselves. So with respect to Muthuswami Dikshitar's compositions, he would compose. See, it was not as if Sri Nandanadi. What should I write? Next day. No, it used to flow. Dishantu mereva sadatpariyaha dayataranga anuchara katakshaha shrotreshu pumsam amritam ksharantim saraswatim samshruta kamadenum, says Vedanta Deshika. For a singer, for a speaker, whichever part, if you are a corporate person, you are presenting a presentation, you are giving a presentation, you have a slide in a presentation. Hayagriva should sit at the tip of your tongue. You cannot be scouting and hunting for words. I don't know what to say. It's a feeling. Oh, how long will you keep speaking like this? எல்லாரும் காத்துட்டு இருக்க மாட்டேன். எனக்கு என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியல. எத்தனை அடித்தே சொல்லிட்டு போய் சொல்லணுமோனோ? என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியல, சொல்றது என்ன சங்கத்தியா அது? So you have to pray, Hayagriva, come and sit. When you write that exam, he should be at the tip of your pen. Jikhvagra simhasanam, else you won't get. See, when a vegetable vendor, without using a calculator, says, oh, 4 kgs of this, 2 kgs of that, 3 kgs of that, half a kg of this, 17 plus 18 plus, he calculates. There is a Vagdevi in his tongue. There is. Else, how can you calculate? When you have to do Manodharma Swara, that Swaram has to come. So, most of our Vagayakaras would just keep saying, somebody will record. We don't know where that page will go. Today we can digitize, we can take a photo, scan it. It was not easy. You won't believe, from 1835 till 1900, there was no pattern of preserving Dikshitar's kritis. There was no pattern. Now we are in 2025. I'm talking 125 years back. Which is about 65 years after Dikshitar's time. 125 years before us. We didn't know. People were singing in different parts. We don't know what they sang because there was no recording facility. That is another problem. Today we can alter so many things small. Even if the person has committed mistakes, in the studio you can correct those mistakes. We have reached that place. So how did it come? In Chennai, there was a Roman Catholic in Fort St. George called Chinnaswamy Mudaliyar. He was a Christian, Roman Catholic. Now, he was very interested in music. He wanted to notate. How will he notate? In the Hindu newspaper then, early 1900s, I'm talking 125 years back, there was a small ad put. We need somebody who knows Muthuswami Dikshita's compositions. A person who was the successor in Muthuswami Dikshita's lineage, Subbarama Dikshitar, I think it is, Subbarama Dikshitar, he wrote back stating that I will come. And then he went and what all he had learned through his Purvacharyas, he notated of Dikshita Kritis. In the newspaper, one ad was put by a Roman Catholic, and somebody answers, and he comes and records. This is how we have this Jambupate written. See how knowledge has passed. Today, knowledge is so easy. You type Guruguha, immediately you'll get. It will also sing for you. Say the AI trained voice, whichever voice you want, you can select. A.R. Rahman. Ananda. It will sing in his. Amritavarshini. It will sing in Rahman's voice. Jai Ho. Finish. Now, Muthuswami Dikshita in his final days, how knowledge came, 60 years. Now, there are a few things. Some people agree, some people disagree. For example, Annapurne Visalakshi. Have you heard? All veterans here. Huh? It is in the raga Shyama. It is on which Devi? Annapurni. Where is Annapurni? Hornad, sir. Kashi, correct? This is on the Annapurani southwest of Thiruvarur. Kurikkarai, very good. It is not on Kashi Annapurani. We will get mesmerized because the song is so beautiful. Annapurne Vishalakshi. Beautiful composition. There he says clearly it is Kurikkarai Annapurani. Rare kritis he gave. He wrote on Parashurama's mother. Renuka Devi Sam Rakshitoham Anisham Venuvadyadinuta Vijayanagara Sthite. Where is this Vijayanagara? 20 kilometers from Thiruvarur. We will think Vijayanagara means Bellary. No, this is another Vijayanagar. We have one Vijayanagar in Bangalore. Right. Venuvadyadinuta Vijayanagara Sthite Manika Bhushani Madhura Rasabhashini Bana Sadrisakshini Parashurama Janani. What raga is this? It will come now. Konatrayavasini Guruguha Vishwasini Kannada Bangale. The ragam is called Kannada Bangala. What Bangala, sir? We know Republic Bangala. What is this Bangala? This is a new ragam. Konatrayavasini Guruguha Vishwasini Kannada Bangale Gandharva Bhanjani Renuka. He sings on that Devi. Rare kritis. On Matsyavataram he sings in Bhinna Panchamam. He has sung a kriti on all the 10 avatars. Dashavatara Ragamalika. Madhavo Mampatu Matsyavataro. He is said to have composed a composition on Guruvayurappan. What is it? Sri Krishnam in Todi. But scholars say it is not his composition. He has written one composition on Ayyappan. എന്താണ് അത്? സീസൺ അല്ലേ? മണ്ഡലം സീസൺ അല്ലേ? എന്താണ് ഉത്തരം? എന്താണ് രാഗം? വസന്ത. ഹരിഹര പുത്രം. Vasanta. That they say is not his composition. What is this, sir? He has written a composition on Padmanabha Swami of Thiruvananthapuram, Pannaga Shayana. They say it is not his composition. He has written one composition in a beautiful raga called Hemavati on Kantimati. Shri Kantimatim Shankara Yuvatim. They say it is not his composition. Tirunelveli ka alva kudtachu. There are some compositions very famous. Sarasijanabha Sodari Nagagandhari Ragamidu Aduvum avardi illenu solraale. Varaguruguhajanani Madashamani Mahishasuramardini Mandagamani Mangalavara Pradayini Sarasijanabha Sodari. There is one kriti on Badrinath. ಅಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರ ಸರ್ ಅವರು? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್? ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಇನ್ ದ ರಾಗಂ ಶುಭಪಂತು ವರಾಳಿ. ಶ್ರೀ ಸತ್ಯನಾರಾಯಣಂ. This is a typical Hindustani influence. It's called Guzri Todi. Shri Satyanarayanam. So yes, sung. That genius, he finally came to Madurai. We began in Madurai. You remember 710? I told you Madurai Sultanate, Sayyid Jalaluddin, Hasan Khan, 1336. Then Nyaborka Shungudi, Jigardanda. So anybody from related to Madurai here? Madurai Veera yaru? Aha. We have got now so many Madurais. God, what a place. Now he comes to Madurai. Of course, he sings on Vishnu very close to Madurai. It is called Alagar Kovil. You know what is that Bhagavan called? His name is Mr. Handsome Shoulders. He is called Sundara Bahu. Pere abdina, your mama pere nalla thol. You know, in English they'll say, I need a shoulder to cry. There you need a shoulder to laugh. Why will you cry on Bhagavan? Yeah. Sundara Bahu. Sindura Shempodi Pol Tir Andal. See, whatever topic, I'll bring my Alvars here. That is me. That is my problem. Sindhura Shempodi Pol Tir Maliranjolai Engum Indira Gopangale எழுந்து பரந்திட்டனவா மந்தர நாட்டி என்று மதுர கொழுந்துஷாறு கொண்டு சுந்தர தோளுடையார் நாறு நரும் பொழில் மாலிரஞ்சோலை நம்பிக்கு நான் 100 தடாவில் வெண்ணெய் வாயில் நேண்டி பராவி வைத்தேன் 100 தடா நிறைந்த. That kshetram you should all visit. Go to Madurai, stay there for 4-5 days. Go to Alagar Kovil. What a temple, what a Bhagavan. Andal said, if you, Mr. Alag, hey handsome, if you get me married to Ranganatha, I will give you 100 barrels filled with fresh butter. She got married, she never gave. Promise, election manifesto. Eldrugu kodtivi. Who is that Eldru? Then they will decide that Eldru after the election is over. Election results come, then they will say, those people who have lived above 60, who have not crossed 80, who do not have diabetes, hypertension, nothing, then you will all be eligible. Nobody will be eligible. Scheme implemented. So she said, 100 barrels of butter. Then you can get from Nandini Avin. The problem is, she also said, நாறு நரும் பொழில். I think you can all understand basic Tamil. மாலிருஞ்சோலை நம்பிக்கு நான் 100. What is 100? Happadi, Kannada and Tamil are the same. 100 தடாவில் வெண்ணெய் வாயில் நேண்டி பராவி வைத்தேன். 100 cups of butter is okay. Next she promises, 100 தடா நிறைந்த Akkaravadisil shonen. This Akkaravadisil is a problem. Where will you make 100 barrels of Akkaram in Tamil means sugar cane, jaggery. Akkaravadisil is where you have to take rice, 25% of pulses, then cook that in thick milk, A2 organic grass-fed milk. Then add another milk to it, and then add ghee to it. So it should be soaked in ghee. So when you leave your hands, after about a foot, you have to find the main dish. Till then, it should be only ghee. And when somebody gives you that as prasadam, the ghee should keep dripping like a slide over your elbow, and you should keep a cup here. With the ghee that accumulates in that cup, you have to do the next full patram. So how much of ghee you need? Nooru tada nirainda akkaravadishil sonnen yeru Thiruvudaiyar vandivai kollum kolo. Then Ramanuja, the great Yatiraja, Bhashyakara, he completed that promise. That is a different story. Now, he stays in the center of Madurai. What a deity, Meenakshi. Alai magal kalai magal panigirvani amudanaya iniya muttamil valartha devi niye tunai. That Meenakshi, when she is in emerald and she bends in Tribhangam, that Nasika, those eyes, those lips, the beauty of Meenakshi, one descendant of Appaya Dikshita called Neelakantha Dikshita, writes it in a work called Anandasagarasthavam, 100 verses on Meenakshi's beauty. How is her nose? 5 verses. Ear, 5 verses. நம்மள எழுத முடியுமா? மாமா அது காது எப்படி இருக்கு? பார்க்காத மாதிரி இருக்கு. உங்க ஆத்து மாமா எங்க இருக்காரு? ஒருத்தருக்கு மூஞ்சி கொஞ்சம் கோணலா இருக்கு பாருங்க. அவர் தான் நம்ம ஆத்து மாமா. இந்த மாதிரி இருந்தா யார் எழுதுவா? Now if I tell this, that's all, they'll put me under body shaming. Mama is handsome. Let's come to Meenakshi. Let's come to useful stuff. Now this Meenakshi's beauty has been described. How is her braid? See, these are all finer details. Hanuman, when he goes to, I'm a Ramayana person. Every time for me, I have to touch Ramayana. When Hanuman goes to Lanka, he has not seen Sita before. He should, Tarkayamasa Siteti, he has to keep checking if this is Sita, double check, triple check. Like now they send OTP, security question. He has to keep doing it. How is this Sita? Because Sita can't be happy. Hapadi, அவர் எங்கேயோ இருக்கார் சந்தோஷம் அப்படின்னா இருந்தா இது நம்ம அது மாமி மாதிரி இருக்கும். Yeah. So she cannot be a happy, but she has to shed tears. That is the typical, that is Vipralambha Shringaram in Natya Shastram. You have to cry. Oh, first she has to cry. Second, she cannot be in a new silk. See, she has to be in the same silk in which she was abducted. Because after you're kidnapped, you will not go there. எனக்கு இன்னொரு மாத்து படவை கொடுங்களேன், ரெட்டை பேட்டா இருக்கணும், மவுண்டன் பார்டர் போட்டிருக்கணும், அதில் வந்து நடுவில் பட்டன் புட்டா மாதிரி இருந்தால் நல்லா இருக்கும். Then what kidnap is it? She cannot change her clothes. The clothes should be soiled because 10 months she has not bathed. Avyakta rekham iva chandra rekham pramsu pradugdham iva hema rekham, says Valmiki. She should be in that silk, soiled, crying. And the same jewelry should not be there. One anklet was with Rama, the other anklet is here like Selapadigaram. Now there is another point here. She was in a braid. ನಾವು ವೇಣಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ತ್ರಿವೇಣಿ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ಶಬ್ದ, தமிழ்ல பின்னல்னு சொல்லுவோம். பின்னல் போட்டுக்கிறது, மூணா பிரிச்சுட்டு போட்டுப்பா பின்னல். ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು? ಜಡೆ. ಜಡೆ. But you know, jata in Sanskritam means upwards. That's another problem. In Sanskritam, jata, rishis put jata upwards. That is jata. This is jata with the downward arrow, correct? In Kannada. Jade. Jade. Day. It is going down. It's not jap. It's jade. So this is braid. When Sita was with Rama, she was wearing a chignan, a bun. So if you're wearing a bun, that means you are with your consort. If you are with a braid, that means you're separated and you're lamenting. So Sita has a braid. He finds, that is another clue in the Ramayana. Make note of it. Whenever you're giving a discourse, tell this. Braid. Veni. How is Meenakshi's Veni? Varali Veni. ಮಾಮವ ಮೀನಾಕ್ಷಿ ರಾಜಮಾತಂಗಿ ಮಾಣಿಕ್ಯವಲ್ಲಕಿ ಪಾಣಿ ಮಧುರವಾಣಿ ವರಾಳಿ ವೇಣಿ ಬ್ರೈಡೆಡ್ ಹೇರ್ Mamava. Then he asked his students, he said, see, I have taught you for so many years. Now, Gen Z, up go. He looked at that generation and said, sing. He was reclining, listening to his composition that he had earlier composed. Students were singing. That is the composition called Meenakshi Me Mudam Dehi in the Ragam Gamaka Kriya, which we currently call as Purvi Kalyani. He calls it by a specific name, Dashagamaka Kriye. Because you can use 10 gamakas in a veena, because he was a Vainika. Dikshita was a Vainika. If you are an instrumentalist and you sing, your manodharmam will be far better. Meenakshi me mudam dehi me chakangi rajama. Because in Sri Vidya, when Lalita sits in the center, the first lady who plays the veena and protects her is called Rajamatangi. That is Meenakshi. Mechakangi. Because she has the hue of dark green. Karum pacha. See, if you go to a Kanchipuram shop, especially silk shop, you should not say pachai kudu. If you say pachai, he will ask what pachai. There are thousands of greens. Kili pachai, posi pachai, karum pachai, neela pachai. There will be some pachai. She is the dark hue of green. It will be very close to black, but you can see a tinge of green. That is called mechakam. Mechakangi. Who is she? Rajama Tangi. Manamatru me How is she? When you place her in front of a darpanam, that green hue that radiates, Maragata Chaye Shiva, you are the concert of Shiva, Shiva Jaye. Then he focuses, zooms. See, in our photo and all, we zoom, right? Oh, ಏನು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ zoom ಮಾಡಿ. Oh, ada last day. Last time itself she. Right? Dushyanth ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ weight ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. How is Meenakshi's zoom photo? Meenalochani. She has the eyes of a fish. What a simile. Because a mother fish is believed to feed her little ones. It's a belief in the literature that a mother fish feeds the little ones just by looking at them. She doesn't have to cook. ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕೋ ಕಂದ? ಪಾಸ್ತಾನಾ? You look at the child's stomach should be filled with pasta. What a day it will be, right? ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕೋ? ದೋಸೆನಾ? ನನ್ನ ನೋಡು. Stomach will be filled with 2 dosas. ಯಾವ ದೋಸೆ? ಮಸಾಲೆ ದೋಸೆ. ಹಾಂ ಅಮ್ಮ ತುಂಬಿದೆ. Jelusil, that's all. Life is so simple that mother fish is much better than humans. We have to go, what's pasta? After making that pasta, the child won't like, ನಾನು pasta ಇವಾಗ ಬೇಡ. ಏನು ಬೇಕು? ಒಗ್ಗರಣೆ ಬೇಕು. ಏನು? So, how are the eyes of Meenakshi? She can look at her children and she can feed them. Meenalochani. She feeds. After, in Maslow's hierarchy, physiological needs, flies, lastly self-actualization, right? What will I do? She has to give me moksha. For that, she has to pull me. What does she use? She uses her eyes as the instrument to pull. See, she doesn't put a noose around us. She's so pretty that you'll never want to come away from her. You'll get closer to her. So her eyes are the noose. What is noose? Pasham. Meenalochani Pashamochani Manini. Where is she? In the vanam filled with kadamba trees. Kadamba vanavasini Meenakshi. Does she have parents? Yes. Madhura Puri Nilaye. She's in the city of Madurai. Amid Shungudi and Jigardanda. Madhura Puri Nilaye. Mani Valaye. Malaya Dhwaja Pandya. He's just not a normal Pandyan, because there is one train called Pandyan. It starts from Tambaram and goes to Madurai. That is Pandyan Express. This is great Pandyan. Malaya Dhwaja Pandya Raja Tanaye. How is her face? Her face is so blemishless and beautiful and radiant that it will put Chandra to shame. Chandra will feel, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅವಳ ಫೇಸ್, ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. He will go hide himself, it seems. Who is Chandra? In Amarakosha, he is called Vidhu. That is why the Sannidhanam is called Vidhu Shekhara Bharati. Vidhu Vidambana Vadane. You who are having the face of the blemishless moon, that puts the real moon to shame. For 3 words, I have to use 18 words in English. Vidhu Vidambana Vadane Vijaye. What do you do with me, mother? Asks Dikshita. Veena Vadana Dashagamaka Kriye. That line, he uses 10 gamakas because he was a Vainika. Veena Vadana Dashagamaka Kriye. Madhu Madha Modita Hridaye Sadaye Mahadeva Sundaresha Priye Madhu Muraripu Sodari. He will use this relationship between Vishnu and her in different ways. Ambujaramana Sodari, Sarasi Janaba Sodari, Madhu Muraripu Sodari. He could have just said Vishnu's sister, then you are not a poet. If you are a poet, you have to say Madhu Muraripu. Madhu is a Rakshasa, Nasura. Mura is another Rakshasa because he killed Madhu. He is the one who won over Madhu, Madhusudana. He killed Mura, so he is called Murari. So he is the enemy to both Madhu and Mura. Madhu Mura Ripu, you enemies. Who is that enemy? Vishnu. Vishnu's sister. இது யார் இந்த மாமி? அங்கே சாமராஜ்பேட்டையில் ஒரு கிரவுண்டை வந்து 1 கோடிக்குன்னு வித்தாளே, அவரோட தங்க. இப்படியா சொல்வ? போன வருஷம் ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? ஒரு மாமா வந்து அரிசி அப்பளம் வித்தாரே, பக்கத்து தெருவில் இருக்கிறே. அந்த மாமா ஆத்துக்கு பின்னாடி இருக்க வீட்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மாமி இவா. அப்பளாத்த வச்சா மாமி சொல்றது. மது முரரி பூசோதரி Shatodari Vidhi Guru Guhava Shankari Shankari me. The student said, we are all Carnatic musicians. Carnatic musicians, you have to make a simple thing complex. Right? Meenalochani Then in the concert, you'll know they are going to go in detail. Meenalochani pashamochani meenalochani. Aramchuta river. Canteen is very good. By the time we have 2 bondas and come, he'll finish. Right? That is our clue. Because if you are used to attending concerts, you will know, oh, idu inno 15 ನಿಮಿಷ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. They'll catch Meenalochani, that's all. Meenalochani pomata, 15 minutes, Meenalochani, long series, OTT series, Family Man 3. Meenalochani pashamochani meenalo. அப்புறம் திருமங்கல்யம் எல்லாம் கட்டிடணும் அதுக்கு. மீனலோச்சனி பாஷமோச்சனி மாங்கல்யம் தந்து மைக்குக்கு கட்டி இல்லையா, மைக்கு தான் அறுக்காமல் இருக்கும், டைவர்ஸ் பண்ணாமல் இருக்கும். மீனலோச்சனி பாஷமோச்சனி மீனலோச்சனி பாஷமோச்சனி மீனலோச்சனி பாஷமோச்சனி. The time he said Pashamochani, that time his Atma exited the body. Meenalochani Pashamochani manini kadambavanavasini Meenakshi. What a genius of 60 years. What a genius who wrote compositions and infused and interspersed the ragam name in it. What a variety he has traveled. What variety he has presented in the entire Melakarta Raga scheme. Kanakambari, Hataka, name a raga, it will be there in Dikshitar. Gaulas, what all variety of Gaulas he sang. That Muthuswami Dikshita is said to have been a great guru, this is what I know roughly, to the son of Shyama Shastri. Shyama Shastri's son learned. This is what I remember. I could be wrong. You can correct me later in the YouTube, wherever. It is also believed that he met Tyagaraja Swami. He was the youngest, but he met Tyagaraja in Thiruvarur. That day when he entered Thiruvarur, because he sings on the Devi there. I'll finish it off in 2 minutes. Don't worry, you'll get cab. The Devi in Thiruvarur is called Dharma Samvardhini. Dharma Samvardhini, Danuja Sammadhini. Tyagaraja sings, Nannu Kannatalli na bhagyama Narayani Dharmambike. So when he went into Thiruvarur, Thiruvarur is famous for an alva. I started with Kashi alva. Let me finish with another alva. This is called Ashoka halwa. Have you heard? Ketadilliya? You have to take moong dal. The recipe I'll tell you now. Moong dal. You have to steam it well. Then mash it. Then keep on adding ghee. Keep on adding. Don't stop. One stage it will come. Ashoka. There will be no shoka. So that is the delicacy of Thiruvarur. So he went into Tyagaraja's place. The students of Tyagaraja informed. Tyagaraja was a big rock star by then. Superstar he was. So his students said, Dikshita has come. Please invite him. That day, incidentally, Tyagaraja was completing his course of Pattabhishekam. Muthuswami Dikshita arrived. He said, Sir, can you sing on my Rama? Chatra chamara kara dhrita bharata Lakshmana Shatrughna Sugriva Bibhishana Pramukhadi Sevita Atri Vasishtyaadyanugraha Patra Dasharatha Putra Maniranga. What is the ragam? Maniranga Valyalankrita. That minute, how it comes? Maniranga Valyalankrita Navaratna Mantape Vichitra Manimaya Simhasane Sitaya Sahasucharitra. I got this Rama today. Somebody gave me. Who gave me this? Somebody here who gave me? Mommy gave. Navaratna Mantape Vichitra Manimaya Simhasane Sitaya Saha Sucharitra Parama Pavitra Guru Guha Mitra Pankaja Mitra Vamsha Sudha Bodhi Chandra Medini Palarama Ma Mava Pattabhirama. What a trinity! One small village by the Kaveri. In today's context, not even a city, not even a town, some small place in the remote delta of Thiruvarur produced three geniuses called Tyagaraja, Shama Shastri, and Muthuswami Dikshita. In a span of 15 years, what influence they have in the Carnatic world today. Can you think of a concert without any of these? What a contribution they have made. They are called a trinity for a reason. Same city, span of 15 years. What variety? Tamil, Telugu, Manipravalam, Sanskritam, name it. Every composition of theirs has something. To that great Guruguha, Muthuswami Dikshita, on his 250th year, such a big milestone that where we think of a person 250 years later, not only in Gayana Samaja. If I go to a Detroit, there are students presenting Dikshitar Kritis there. If I go to a Germany, if I go to a Netherlands, there are students presenting there. How from a small place called Thiruvarur, their lines have traversed and traveled the world, just proves what a genius that man was. And my name is, if he has to say, he has to say, my name is Dikshita. Right? We have movies, my name is, his name. My name is Muthuswami Dikshita. What a composer, what a sahityam, what a life, what a influence. To that great composer, Muthuswami Dikshita. Yeah, he met his brother. His brother was to get married, so he met them. Baluswami Dikshita. And it continued, that Paddhati Parampara continued till Ambi Dikshitar. D.K. Pattammal and D.K.J. Jayaraman learnt under Pattamma. But Pattamma largely learnt under Ambi Dikshitar, who was a direct descendant. There are various books, Sangeeta Sampradaya Pradarshini. Then there's another work prior to them, Chaturdandi Prakashika. These are all mammoth books. What they carry. Now, to this great Dikshita's life, all that we could do. See, what I've done is maybe I would have touched 45 to 50 compositions today, here and there, bits and pieces. If you ask a true musicologist, a practicing musician, they will even tell you how the Swara Prasthanam is. Because if there is a Swaraksharam, if the Sahityam has Ma, the Swaram will also have Ma there. That is his greatness. See, for example, Tyagaraja says, Nabhihrit Kantharasana Na Sadhu Lello Shobhillo Saptaswara Dharadhruk Samadulalo Dharadhruk Samadulalo Varagayatri Hridayamuna Dharadhruk Samadulalo. The way they've composed, when you deal with the first composition, Srinath Adi, you'll be mesmerized. We'll be doubting if this is his first composition. What a grand composition it is. I'm sure this foundation, Narasimhacharya's foundation, for years together has been celebrating such music, such Vagayakaras. Kudos to all their efforts. Vardhatam, Abhivardhatam. In the coming weeks, of course, you all know it's a music season, so I travel to Chennai. We, street by street, hour by hour, we have to keep running Sabha after Sabha to sing. So that's the schedule. We have 35 discourses, harikathas with various musicians in 15 days, morning, afternoon, evening, with the canteens in between. People will go. So I have to stop them from going to the canteen. I'll tell the cook Sumar today, so that they come to me. So this is the state. But now, December 6th, which is Saturday, I will be speaking in Tamil on the topic Krishna Leela in the presence of Srimad Paramahamsethyadi G.R. Swamigal of Yadugiri Yatiraja Matha in Malleshwaram in the evening. It is free, open to all. It is happening in the Yatiraja Matha, evening, December 6th. I've repeated twice. Don't ask me again. So, December 6th. After that, the journey continues in Chennai. January, Feb, I have, January I don't have concerts. February, if you have time, on the February 13th, I'm speaking in Tamil for Ramakrishna Bhajana Sabha at the Surya Narayana Swami temple in Domlur, which is on February 13th. Then March and April period, I will be speaking for many organizations. As usual in Bangalore, I will have come to Fort High School grounds and a few other places I don't remember offhand. So please follow me on social media if you can. If you're on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, what is left? Twitter, X. These are the 5, right? Pancha Samskaram. So where December 6th, 7th, it is happening in the GKVK campus in North Bangalore, which is north of Bangalore. So if you're there in that area, you can come. It's a yoga summit. I'm speaking for half an hour. So all that is being updated on my channel. Now, I would just urge you all to sit for about 3 minutes, just 3 minutes, not more. I know it's time for all of you to go to different places. I'm cognizant of your travel problems, but Kishanji would like to thank all of you for being such a pillar of support. So he will come over, finish it off soon, and then we leave. Huh? Yeah, so of course, so I will be taking quite a few yatris, 250 of them to Cambodia. Any somebody who's participating in my tour of Cambodia coming this time? No. Oh, okay, so 250 of them to Cambodia. I think then 150 people we are taking to Egypt. So I think some of you are coming to Egypt. So my topic will be on Yadavabhyudayam in English during that period. So Indian tour, we are taking 110 people to Divya Deshams of Kerala. That is full. Yeah, so there are quite a few people coming there. The other yatras, if there are any, we will notify on the YouTube. Let me just conclude with the shlokam because I have to conclude with a mangalam. Pavamana sutudu patu padara vindamulaku ninama rupamulaku nitya jaya mangalam rajiva nayanatyagarajadi vinutamaina ninama rupamulaku nitya jaya mangalam. This has beautiful paintings, excellent explanation by Smita. She's here. Please stand up. So she's here. She's authored the book. So if you would like to get in touch to know more and buy the book, please get in touch with her. Thank you.
Namaskaram. I know I should not be talking after Dushyanth Sridhar because what a flow of words from his mouth. I can't even imagine the vocabulary and the knowledge he has. But I am duty bound. I have to thank him for this excellent discourse on Muthuswami Dikshitar. I hope all Rasikas and the music students, the perspective of enjoying Dikshitar Kritis will change from now because he has given such a wonderful and detailed analysis, even word by word analysis. That is really, truly, we are honored and our knowledge has really expanded. Thank you very much. And today being the last day of our 24th Music Festival, I thank you all for your great support in attendance and all. We are stepping into 25th year from now on. So I need your help, Tanu Manu Dhana, as Dushyant Sridhar said, music, you please encourage all the organizations because it is very tough to organize such programs nowadays because we don't have our own auditorium. Everything we have to plan and we have to spend money, lot of money. So please help any organization. I'm not asking for myself, who are doing good things to pursue our cultural activities. Please help them whatever way you can, because any entertainment today, as Dushyant Sridhar said, minimum 500 rupees we spend without knowing whether it is good or not. After coming back, we say, oh, it was hopeless. But whatever we are presenting from past 24 years, all super standard entertainment or knowledge, whatever you call, music, like discourses like this. So please contribute your financial help we need, really need. Thank you. And today's sponsorer, I request Dr. Padmalata Venkatraman to come and hand over our. No, one more thing I want to tell. I wanted to actually put a shawl. Now I don't want to do that. I'm canceling, taking it back. One of other supporter, Mr. Srinivasa Iyengar, I request him to come on the stage. I request his son Narasimhan to come and receive our token of gratitude. Thank you all. Our 25th year festivals start from monthly concerts from December 14th. Our programs will be announced on social media. You can follow M.A.NARASIMHACHAR Music Foundation. You will get all the information. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support again.